Glenn Clark Radio, talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuff and things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Mike Tomlin stepped down at Pittsburgh.
He did? Is it official?
That's what I keep hearing. So, is he a candidate here?
Holy shit, Mike, wouldn't that be awesome? Only if John takes the Pittsburgh job. Wow, wouldn't that be interesting? I don't know, that thing last week maybe disqualified him for my opening after our kicker missed a kick to let them advance. Good for Mike. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
talk to him.
We got everything we needed from that. There you go.
I love that you can say that on the air now.
Well, not
the times have changed.
Not everywhere.
Oh, just because we're on the internet?
Yeah, just because we're on the internet.
I have to apologize in advance. I've got
thank
chia gas. So I just want you to.
What is that?
Chia gas.
I'm not familiar.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you start eating chia seeds regularly
then
for the
you
first
all
like 3 days, you have this
Oh, good.
terrible gas.
Well, we got. Do we have it?
So I'm
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What?
We
We
got.
got good news for you. We had breakfast for you.
Oh, cool. What are we having?
Yeah. Well, you asked for it. You
What?
wanted to do it. We
Oh,
got
that
you
cheeseburger thing?
No. We're gonna do that. We'll do that later in the show. We'll get to that.
I'm missing something.
You lost a bet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I got a lunch and I got to go too.
No.
I can't
no,
fill
no,
up.
No.
Oh, man. Well, I got chia gas.
That's fine. You're about to have all sorts of gas.
Well, I do have a luncheon, though, so I can't fill up on this.
What do you mean you can't?
I mean, I'll take a bite of it, but I mean,
no, you're gonna have more than
I
a bite
can't
of it.
eat. I got a luncheon.
You keep saying you have a luncheon. What is that?
I do.
What does that mean?
I have a lunch meeting with someone.
Okay, well, you can have some Chinese food or whatever when you go to the luncheon.
Well,
but you're not gonna get
But
out
I
of
can't go
this.
there with a full belly.
Well, I mean, I don't know how full it'll be. I think he only made half of the thing.
No, I can't.
I think you're
I'm
good.
objecting. First of all,
You-
I want to see the results.
You signed up for this.
I want to see the
You
results.
signed up to be a part of this, and you went 4-5 in a week where everybody was over 500.
I want to see the scoreboard.
I think he's got it. Oh, you made the whole thing. I told him he didn't have to eat the whole thing. You only had to eat half of it.
Well, I can't eat half of it. But I can't eat half of it, but I'll eat some of it.
No, you said you'd eat half.
Well,
of
I'm
it.
not
We
eating-
We came to an
I
agreement.
can't because I didn't know today was the day.
No, you don't
Well,
get
you got to
pick-
heat
you
it
don't
up
get to
for me.
pick at it. You got to.
Well, you got to heat it up.
You don't get to pick at it. That's not just eating little bites of hot dog.
That was good.
Yeah, because you just ate a little bite of a hot dog. You didn't eat the whole thing. What are you doing? God.
What's the crust? Is it like a wheat?
It's like a normal graham cracker pie
Oh,
crust.
a graham
Yeah.
cracker crust, huh? You're really. Why
Did
would you?
you make this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovingly, in fact. He was.
Well,
thinking
where did this
about
come
you.
from?
He made it. What do you think?
But I mean, what's the concept? Like,
I eat it every year.
Yeah, right. It's a holiday tradition. I don't remember where this one came from. Somebody
It was
sent
on
it.
Facebook, I think.
Yeah, somebody
It was
sent it
like-
to us. Who sent it to us? Somebody.
You sent it to me. I don't
Somebody
know where.
tagged.
I don't know who sent
tagged
it to you.
me in it.
You
and
know
then
weird people,
And then
so-
I tagged you in it because somebody else tagged me in it. That's the way that it normally works.
I mean,
Oh my God, this is one of the most vile things
then
I've
eat
ever
the whole thing.
tasted. You have to have at least a quarter of that. Yeah.
I'm not going to eat a quarter of it because it's
you
not.
have to have at least a quarter. No. This is bogus. You don't lose a bet and then be like, I don't really.
Can I
No.
explain myself?
No, you can't.
Well, that's no fun. Doesn't go with my green tea.
Doesn't go with anything.
It's interesting.
It's interesting.
Do you need me to cut a slice out for you, Drew?
No, I'm good. I'm picking at it.
That's not eating.
What
You gotta eat
is-
it together.
What is
What's wrong with you?
what is it exactly?
What's wrong? It's pickles, hot dogs, and gelatin.
Well,
That's the pie. Pickles, hot dog, gelatin pie.
okay. Well, what's the redeeming? You can cut that up all you want, there, Cap. I'm
You're
not
gonna
eating that.
eat a good
I-
chunk of this.
First of all, I just had breakfast.
you keep saying that like it matters.
Put it there.
No one's concerned about your breakfast or your luncheon or any
Give
of
a
those
damn what you
things.
guys are concerned about.
You lost the bet.
What
I thought you were a man of decency and honor.
what's the gelatin part? Like, what is that?
It's Jello.
But it doesn't have a flavor.
It's
Correct.
clear Jello.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is.
It's pretty terrible.
Yes, it's god awful.
I mean, I will say the Oreo cookie thing.
Can you hold the plate up one more time so people can make sure everyone can see what you're working with?
It's
there.
terrible. The Oreo cookie thing was good. Like, I would eat that again. This is not good. And I'm not a huge. I guess part of the problem is I'm not a huge hot dog fan, nor am I a huge pickle fan.
Right. Well,
If I was one of the two, it would be okay.
no. I assure you, I like both. It's not okay.
You like hot
It
dogs?
is- I like hot. I mean, I don't. I'm not like eating hot dogs every day, but I like hot dog. Like,
Here's what I would say.
this is doing way too much. We're putting way too much into this. I regret it already.
If you eliminated the crust, it would be okay.
No, it wouldn't. Stop. It's
I'm just telling you.
vile. All right, Drew Forrester is here, and you're gonna eat that.
I'm not eating. I don't think because I got a luncheon.
You keep saying.
Listen to
that.
me. Are you upset that he?
I've-
Are
stop,
you upset
stop.
that he quit?
Who quit? Who quit?
You know who?
Tell me who quit.
You know who?
Tell me who quit.
It just
Oh, Mike
happened.
Tomlin quit.
No, Kepka.
They quit live. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll be
you
all right.
upset?
I'll be all right. I'll somehow get by. Believe it or not. All right.
Man, that is terrible.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna eat.
I hear. Can I say one other thing?
Yeah.
It might be better. It might be also almost edible if it were heated up.
No, it wouldn't. No, it
I mean,
wouldn't.
you want to
It
try
would
it?
not.
I'm willing
It
to give
would
it
not.
I'm just telling you, everything is better heated up.
It's not true, actually. I disagree with that.
Name something that isn't better heated up.
Leftover pizza is
Salad.
not better heated up.
You're insane.
Leftover,
disagree.
Leftover
I do
pizza.
disagree.
You're crazy.
Unless you're legitimately doing it. If you do it in a pan,
Oh,
like on
please.
the oven, when you
Cold
just put it-
pizza
when you
is
just-
for turds.
No, when you
It's
just put it in
terrible.
the microwave, it's no longer pizza anymore.
No, microwave still does.
No,
it.
it's
Then you're
bad.
going to a bad pizza shop.
objective.
You're
You're going to a
insane.
bad pizza
No,
shop then.
It's objectively
All right,
bad.
anyway,
So
open
Salad.
you do it
window up
on
for me, would you
in a
please?
frying pan on the oven. Then we'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah, yeah.
about it. With leftover pizza there, that's fine.
Okay.
But you
Well,
put it in
then
the
you just
microwave, it
contradicted
stinks.
yourself.
I just said that compared to the microwave,
Salad you can't heat
All right,
up.
whatever.
you're gonna eat that.
But do you
gonna-
salad? You don't. Salad's not hot in the first
gonna-
place.
Right, I
gonna-
know.
you're gonna
Pickles
eat
you
that.
shouldn't heat up.
I'm not
either.
eating that whole
Well,
thing.
yeah.
I got a luncheon.
Saying that.
I'll take it with me.
No, you're not. You're gonna eat it.
Why does it come in a Lido box?
did.
By the way,
That's just what I
Had a
had.
box lying around.
Yeah, that's what I
Griffin
had.
put a lot of effort.
I'm going to take this to Lido.
You're
Actually, I'm going to walk over to Lido today when I'm at Coward Hall, and I'm going to go. Can I get a refund on this?
You're gonna eat that. Now, let's spend some time with what we learned from yesterday's press conference.
What's up, John?
Then we're we're actually gonna
John,
do
this place is going
we're
downhill.
gonna do another
quick.
one because later on in the show we're gonna draft. We're gonna draft who will be the next Ravens.
Yeah, we ought to be drafting a new basketball coach at Maryland.
Well,
That's what we ought to be doing.
you didn't actually stay on.
I
to watch
did.
that. What is wrong
Let me give you.
with you?
Let me, and I'm going to. This
I
is
never fall
terrible.
asleep before midnight.
I'm going
I
to say
did
this.
last
This
night.
is terrible to say. So I'm going to qualify that. Thank you for your service, sir. I'm going to qualify. Oh, he did me the thing back, I think.
no. No.
I'm going to say this, and this is terrible to say. So please,
That's never stopped you before.
they quit last night.
Oh,
Diggy quit, didn't quit.
No. They friggin' quit last night.
well,
Colin Metcalf had 2 blocks.
They quit last night.
I'm not going to pretend.
With 6 minutes to go, they weren't even trying anymore. They were just. It was. They should have brought the professor out. That they were. Just, it was just
What
and
prof-
one.
Who is the Oh, that
It was
professor.
just the
I thought you meant
only
like a
pro-
professor from the school or something.
Oh,
Like,
the
who
only
is the
professor.
All right,
There's the large professor,
Yeah,
the
no,
rap guy,
I
and then
understand.
there's the professor, Grayson Murray or whatever.
I
He's the
understand,
guy
I
that
understand.
died.
Yeah.
Grayson Boucher.
Yeah,
They should have just brought him out.
sure.
They quit last night.
I look, man. This is where I'm
They
supposed to
quit.
say, like, obviously they didn't quit. I'm not going to pretend like
They
I watched the game.
freaking
You know
quit.
what's crazy is I actually checked early in the second half and saw that they were ahead, and I said, maybe I'll look at it for a minute. And I looked at it for a
that's
minute.
on you.
And then it was like a 10-0 run.
Well, they
and
went
I
on
said,
they did the same thing that Indiana did. They went on that crazy 18-0 run. They quit.
And I just said, you know what? I'm good. I'm good here.
He
good
better.
here.
They're not going to make the tournament.
No. No.
Let's call this.
Hang on a second.
Revelation.
You better settle down. We got all hot take McGee over here. This guy trying out for first take on ESPN.
Tell you what.
Yeah, I gotta fire one
man.
for you. Hang on a second. Let's go out to Drew in Parkville. He's got a real fire take on line 3. Go ahead, Drew.
Hey, let me tell you about them Terps. If they don't start winning, they ain't making a tournament.
I don't know.
When do they play Florida State?
God.
Well, how'd they do?
You know, they
How'd
play.
how'd
We
they-
don't do that until that is a March Madness miracle every year. We don't waste that audio in
How'd they do?
January.
How'd they do against Maryland?
Everybody's got to build up to
How'd
it
they do?
before we revisit that
How'd they
audio
do?
in March.
Oh, that's right. They're not in the ACC anymore.
believe
They haven't
it.
been in 5
I was
years.
just told. You know what? I forgot.
I'm forgetting. That's what he said.
Oh,
God,
man.
man.
What a life. All right, go ahead.
All right, now, Griffin pulled some clips from yesterday's press conference. We'll react to them one by one. I really have no.
It's like the morning reaction.
It is sort of like the morning reaction.
Yeah, right.
That is sort of
That's
like.
the old segment you guys did.
Yep.
I guess let's start with the one that you and I mean, if you want me to pants you, I'll go ahead and pants you. It's fine. But
About what?
But you've never been more wrong about any topic.
Oh,
in the
I don't
history
don't
of
even bother
humanity.
talking about this because
We'll
who
go-
cares?
We'll go ahead. No. We'll go ahead and we'll have it out.
I have nothing to say.
Everybody wants us to go ahead and have it out. So
We're not having it out.
We're gonna have it out.
I'm
Because
not saying
you've
anything
never-
about it.
You've never been more wrong about anything. in
Okay,
your
I was
life.
wrong. Next, show the next clip.
Please do me ever. You need to isolate that. You need to isolate.
Yeah, I was wrong.
that
Go to the
and
next
have
clip.
that. I know that our soundboard doesn't
No,
work
no,
anymore.
no. I was wrong. Go to the
I
next clip. I don't
know
want to talk
that
about it
soundboard
because I'm not
doesn't
changing
work.
my mind,
Right.
and neither are you.
But that's
and I don't
okay.
want to have a conversation about
Because
it.
you're wrong.
Okay, you're wrong.
No,
Let's
I'm-
just
I'm
go to the
not,
next
though.
clip.
That's where we're different.
Neither am
you already
I.
said- you already said you were.
Go to the
I'm
next
not
clip.
sure if you remember. You already said
It's
you were.
not worth
wrong.
talking about.
No, I think it is.
It isn't.
I think it is. There's a certain percentage that needs us to have this.
There's
And
nothing
we'll-
to say
we
about it.
will-
I don't think you should fire the coach over the phone. You should fire him in person. You owe that to him. It's disrespectful to not sit in front of him, and that's it.
And
then you're not changing my mind.
And I need you to know that if I'm ever employed by you, that I reserve the right, if you do that to me, to urinate on anything in your.
No problem.
That's the
No
that's
problem.
the trade-off.
Okay, now let's
If
go
you
to
make
something.
If you make me drive in to get fired, I reserve the right to urinate on anything that I choose to in your.
Just not on my rug.
In your no.
Not
It's
on
my
my rug.
It's my choice.
Yeah, but not on that
if
rug.
I'm employed by you and you
Okay.
fire and you make me waste
Let's
time
go to the next
to
clip
get fired,
to talk about
then
something.
I get to piss on anything that
Okay.
you have.
Yes,
You are a woman.
I agree.
I know I am.
Good, got it. There's one.
There we
Go to the
That
next
is-
clip.
That is, well,
So
we
we-
have that one, but not.
Yeah, right.
It's all the other ones.
Go to the next
That
clip.
Which one do we want? I don't know.
Yeah, right. The greatest hits. Play Don't Look Back.
I need the I am wrong.
I'm wrong. Go ahead. All right, go to the next clip.
I don't really
No?
care.
Okay.
I really don't care about any of the stuff related.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I said this last
It
week. I
doesn't-
really don't care about any of the how did it happen. It really is irrelevant to me because ultimately the answer that Steve gave is fine because it's the answer that we all knew. The answer is it's time. That's the answer.
Right.
It was time. There's no real way to quantify it. There's no real way to say
It's-
this is. We all knew because we all watched, we all saw it, and
Correct.
we all felt the exact same way. It's time.
Right. So
That's it.
the only tentacle to that, which I wrote about today, was, and this is worth talking about. Now, maybe not. I mean, you may not want to talk about it. I mean, in general, it is worth talking about. Why did it take this long? When it was very clear, based on what you said yesterday, that you were had and were having ongoing reservations about things that were going on within the team. And my argument would be he fell victim to the exact same thing that he was blamed Eric for, and whomever else it was he was talking to. I assume it was Sashi, but I don't know that. I would contend to you he has failed. My contention is Steve failed.
You think? I'm trying to what are you basing that argument on? That that
a
John
few
should have been
things that-
fired
a few-
years ago.
That Steve had that thought. He did. He admitted that.
Right.
And that he didn't pull the trigger. And I say, just like people say, and I get this, you and I agree, it was time. We base that on a number of things. Yes. And I'm just loosely saying. Derrick Henry didn't run the ball.
Right.
Well, that's not John's fault. Well, yeah, it is.
Well, it is, right.
He employed the offensive coordinator. Right. Well, the defense gave up two touchdown leads 10 times. That's not John's fault. Right. Yeah, it is. Yeah. He's the head coach. Mm-hmm. Well, Steve should have fired the coach when he knew it was the time, and he didn't. And he admitted that yesterday.
When do you think he knew it was the time?
Well, I know that as far back as 2018, he admitted that he considered firing the coach.
100%.
Then he said yesterday, I've seen a lot of, and I'm paraphrasing this, so again, if you want to know the exact what he said, go to my website, and it's there. Or go to the transcripts, and it's there. But he basically said, there were a lot of things that rubbed me the wrong way, and I just stored them in the back of my mind and kind of hoped that they didn't rear their head again. And then when they started to rear their head again, I realized I should have acted on them before. And I'm not and again, people get all pissy about when you criticize the owner, but it's all we ever did with the Orioles.
I've got stuff to criticize from yesterday.
It's all that we ever did with the Orioles. Yeah. And all I'm saying is this. And this is not a revelation. It really isn't. People have spent the last week lauding him for finally having the balls to do what's right. He's been a wonderful owner. Arguably one of the best owners we've had, right? But I think it's very obvious, and he admitted it. So this is not me pulling this out of the sky. He admitted it. It's been very obvious that he has not been as engaged with the running of the organization.
That part I agree with wholeheartedly.
As he was when they were successful. And I am going to blame him for that because ultimately, or his wife, because he pretty much said yesterday, I promised my wife this would be a hobby, and it wound up not being. And I felt I was becoming untruthful to her. And I would say, and I said it today, the Ravens are way, way better off. And I'm not saying this to take a shot at Sashi Brown or at Eric. I'm saying this because I've seen it. The Ravens are way better off when Steve Bisciotti has his fingers on everything going on and he manages the organization the way he used to. So I'm putting, now that I've seen this yesterday was very telling. Very telling. Now that I saw yesterday and rewatched it and reread it, I think Steve deserves a lot of scrutiny.
Well, I think
for
Steve
allowing
the
team, for allowing the product to crumble. Maybe an overstatement.
I think that's
maybe
a bit too far.
Okay,
but
for allowing it to get where it got, I think Steve deserves blame for that.
Okay, but let me go down two different
lanes
of where you. Because to the point of, well, he should have done this when he felt it the first time, I felt a lot of the same things that he felt. But my opinion was winning is what matters. And while I was bothered by the blown leads in the fourth quarter, and while I was bothered by other things, if they were winning and if it felt like they were still knocking on the door of winning a Super Bowl, I was of the opinion that you don't screw with that just for funsies. You don't hope that the next guy can do that. You keep that going. I think what he said yesterday was very clear. And it's exactly the way that I felt. They regressed. They were no longer doing that. And so at that point, you're not screwing with anything. You're saying this isn't good enough. But it's the people that...
he made a point of saying we went from the AFC title game to losing in the divisional round to not making it.
Correct.
In 2 years.
That's regression. Right. And it was clear regression. And when he said, like, hey, would John have been around for if Tyler Luke makes the kick and he said for another week, I absolutely believe... that what he's saying is short of a deep run in the playoffs.
Well, I said that.
This was going to happen.
They had to make a dramatic run.
Correct.
Which I when I pressed the person who told me that,
Right.
I said, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
The person said we had to win at least 2 playoff games.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Correct. And I completely believe that.
Right.
You needed to show that there wasn't regression, and simply getting in by the skin of your teeth and getting skull dragged the way the Steelers did would not have been, proving that you weren't regressing. You would still be regressing. You just happened to get into the playoffs as you were regressing.
Well, they also regressed.
It's the sheer number of players that you have confidence in right now.
No. I'm saying they also weren't. I mean, 2020. What year was it? 2023 was their.
Yes, they were the number one seed.
Zenith,
They
right.
were, yes.
They weren't all that great the 3 years before that.
But measured by the fact that Lamar Jackson got hurt.
Well, he got hurt this year, too.
Yes. Correct, 100%. But then he came back and they lost home games anyway.
Right.
Like, that part of that matters. If Lamar Jackson doesn't play in those games, I don't know how you measure it. If his season ended against Kansas City, I don't know how you measure it at that point. I don't know what this looks like. Maybe they call the right plays because they seem to be able to do that when Tyler Huntley's playing. It's a very bizarre thing. All that being said, the second part of it, so I defend Steve Bisciotti on the timing of this. I think it was the correct timing. I don't think it's the mouth breathers who are like, well, you could have done this 2 years ago and you would have had Mike McDonald.
Well, I don't know about that.
Spare me.
I don't know about that. I think it's
insane
more
way to think an organization should operate.
Right, but I would contend, and the reason why I think Steve deserves scrutiny is because I think it's. I heard him say yesterday, I haven't been as involved.
That part of it I agree with.
And I would say to you, then sell the team or get more involved. And that's all I said today. We need the old Steve Bisciotti back. Very simple. And I got to tell you, I think he would agree with that. I honestly, I think, and I'm not saying he should read it. I'm saying, I think if he read what I wrote today, he would say, you're probably right. I need to be more involved, or I should sell the team.
I would agree largely, or maybe I would say it's time to look at some other people that are more involved, and whether or not the organization is actually progressing under their leadership. Like, I would say that I think a lot of people would say that Steve Bisciotti was hands off when Dick Cass was running the team, and we didn't feel it quite as directly, because Dick Cass had more of a sense of what Steve Bisciotti was trying to do, and I don't know if that's the same right now. And that's
what does the president do? What does Sashi Brown do?
It makes a lot of the decisions that are more global for the organization. Makes a lot of the
like what?
A lot of the decisions about other elements of the organization.
Non-football.
Right, non-football.
Right.
He
Gotcha.
clearly is allowed to be involved in football conversations. They clearly, for whatever reason,
should he be?
Based on his track record, I would say no. I would say he shouldn't be. But to be fair, that's not new, right? Like, Kevin Byrne got to sit in on coaching interviews and in the draft room and things like that. Like,
Kevin Byrne also knew football.
I don't disagree with you.
Right.
And what they would say is, well, Sashi Brown was the general manager of a football team.
Yeah.
I understand.
Let's go back and look.
I understand that you and I feel.
Let's go back and look at that and see how that went.
The way that we feel about it.
Well, I think
wanted,
yesterday there were 2 interesting questions that didn't get asked. What does he do? Because you keep mentioning him. I would like to say, like, you keep mentioning Sashi and Eric. What's Sashi do? And what is Ozzy's role? Like, what is Ozzy? I'm not saying this to be negative to Ozzy. Hell, Ozzy maybe should be more involved. What does Ozzy do? What is he?
I mean,
does he have a title?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think he does.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've always kind of accepted that he's just a consultant, and that's
right. And that's
fine.
kind of the way I would look at it too.
Yeah. And I have no issue with that.
I at the end of the day, all I'm saying.
His title is executive vice president, for the record.
Ozzy is. That's interesting. And at the end of the day, all I'm saying about Steve is it was awesome to hear from him yesterday. I always loved this. It was a staple of the organization. I think it was a mistake that he stopped doing it. I heard his reasoning yesterday. Mm-hmm. I didn't agree with it. I just didn't agree with it. I think when you were pressed in 2018 about firing John, and you, whatever the word he used, a fancier word, but you resented you resented the topic being dug into like that. Mm-hmm. That's not a reason for you to not do it anymore. Yep. It comes with the territory of you owning $1 billion public business.
I completely agree with it. Now,
and
I am careful about this. I don't think it's an obligation. I don't. This is the thing that
It might not be an obligation,
people
but
like
you
to use
started
those
it.
words. I think you should want to do it.
You sure. I'll agree with that. You started doing this. This was a way for you to be different and separate yourself. And look, let's be honest. You and I know this, but I think people know it. They initially did this to put a booger on the back of the Orioles. That's the truth. We all know that. That they did this at a time when the Orioles never did it.
Yes,
and this was their way of finally putting their foot firmly up the Orioles' rear end.
That's largely true, but there was also an NFL policy about it for a while.
But this is why this is why it was important to them. This is why in the old days everybody got invited. They wanted the room filled to show the Orioles, look what we did. Now you can't get an invite unless you know the password, and it's baloney1.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
You have to use numbers
Did
now.
you spell it correctly? Or,
No, you use EY.
Okay. All right,
But it's so. As I said yesterday, and today, I think Steve has been an awesome owner. I think we've been incredibly blessed to have him as the owner. I think we need that owner back.
Okay, so we got that. I understand how you feel about that, and I to some extent agree with that. I think it would be well suited for Steve to be involved.
I said if I was a member at the Medalist, I might stay down there too.
100%. I don't know why I would want to be here. Now, let's cover the stuff that I thought was relevant from the press conference. I thought it was a good question. I think
Which
I think
3 minutes?
It was Luke Jones who asked it.
Okay.
Because there is a question about you fired the head coach, but you're also sitting up here with the general manager. Why did you choose that it was the head coach's fault?
You know, the hits and misses in this business, I think you have to average them out. I think Eric's one of the best GMs in the league, and so I think he's batting 800. I'm just making up a number for you, but
that's for sure.
I'm not going to look at Eric's 200 whiffs. I'll look at his 800 singles and doubles and home runs. You know, that to me, that's fair. I'm very, very pleased with Eric. I know that Eric has been very, very introspective about his failures and how they contributed to our dear friend being shown the door. And so nobody's harder on himself than Eric. So I think I can leave him alone for a while and focus on what we've got here with an empty chair.
It was very full-throated, his defense of Eric DeCosta. It was not – he didn't leave any – we got to look at that too, and who knows where I'm going to be a year from now, and I understand that you wouldn't want to say that if that was the case.
Well, that was a full endorsement.
But that was very full-throated.
Yeah.
It was very full-throated.
Yeah.
His
Sure.
I am he and I, we disagree about this topic. I don't think that it's Eric DeCosta's overwhelmingly, proven that he's definitively one of the best general managers in football. I don't know how good of a general manager Eric DeCosta is. Genuinely, I don't know. It's like when people would ask me, the questions, how good of a general manager is Mike Elias? I have no idea. I have no clue how good of a general manager Mike Elias is. I don't know how good of a general manager Eric DeCosta is. I think he's certainly had moments. Pulled Kyle Van Noy off the scrap heap. He drafted Kyle Hamilton. Those are two really good ones. Maybe he's really good with Kyles. Maybe that's what
you weren't.
More Kyle.
yeah, that not bad. Not bad.
Sorry, Kyle.
Not bad.
I'm going to recuse myself from part of this, but I will comment on some of it. But I'm going to recuse myself on part of it because I am a friend of Eric's.
I understand that.
And so I can't.
I like Eric.
I can't render.
I like Eric. I've always appreciated.
No. I know. And
like Eric.
Look, I'm being honest.
But
I can't.
I don't know how good of a general manager he is. I don't know what we'd be basing that. What are we basing it on if we say Eric DeCosta is a great general manager? What has he done that gives us that assurance? And I'm also not saying that you needed to fire Eric DeCosta. There's a long way between those two things. I as I said when we talked about it during the season, I didn't think they needed to fire Eric DeCosta, but if that was the choice they had made to say none of this is working, I would have understood. I don't think that that's required. And I think that part of what's being reflected there is we're using Eric DeCosta's name, but it's really about the Ravens system, right? That it really is, we've been doing this for a long time, and we have a track record, and it goes beyond just Eric being the general manager. When he was the scouting director, Eric helped us find this guy, and Eric was involved with this, and Eric's been doing this for a long time, and so that part of his tenure matters too, and it's part of why I have so much faith and trust in him.
Do you believe, this is a separate question, but it is an adjunct to this discussion. Do you believe the coach should unilaterally and independently have the authority to hire his offensive defensive coordinator?
Yes, I do.
So if the general manager in whatever city,
unless for some reason, somebody brought this up. I don't know.
No,
the Ravens aren't going to hire Mike Tomlin, right? They're not. But in a world where, let's just pretend like that was something they were going to do, and I would be okay with it because I like Mike Tomlin. They're not going to. I wouldn't give up a first-round pick for Mike Tomlin. But if that was the case, and they said to him, Mike, one of the big issues we have, though, is you're pretty awful at hiring offensive coordinators. Your track record is pretty wretched in terms of hiring offensive coordinators. And if Mike Tomlin said, you know what, you're right, that hasn't been great. I'd like to have you guys be a little bit more involved in that process, then I'd be okay with that. But short of it, you hire a head coach for those reasons.
Okay, so let me go back to this because I'm not yelling at you, but you got way off of where I was going. So but I don't disagree with you. But so here's my question: we believe the time was right because the results weren't there, and that's what Steve said yesterday, and you called it regression, which is what it was, right? I don't even want to bring up last year, but because of how the game ended in Buffalo, everybody beat up Mark Andrews for that, right? We have no idea with a minute 27 left what would have happened.
Sure.
Buffalo would have probably gone right down the field.
a million times that I think they would have won anyway.
Who knows, right? But let's just look at this year. When you look at the things that happened that led us almost universally in this city to say the time is right, it all came down to results. It all came down to results, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
for the most part.
Were they impacted by Lamar's injury? Sure. Is that John's fault? No. Is that Eric's fault? No. But the results are the results. And the manner in which they lost in the game at Buffalo, the manner in which they got run out of the gym at home by the Lions, I don't know. The Chiefs weren't very good, but they were good first 6 weeks of the season, so I don't know about that loss. But certainly the three that we all know, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, New England. The argument could be made that the coordinators had their fingerprints on those three losses.
Can make the argument,
right?
Sure.
And so my question to you would be, as you, and I'm not yelling at you, but as you say, I don't know if Eric DeCosta is a great general manager. What if Eric didn't want Todd Monken?
I understand.
What if he didn't want Zach Orr?
Sure.
But we're holding Eric accountable. We're holding Eric accountable for I'll use Nate. Well, it didn't matter because in the Green Bay game they won, even though Wiggins was terrible. But we're holding Eric accountable for the manner in which the players he picked, because he picked them, the players he picked performed. But in the next step, we also hold the coordinators responsible.
100%.
Right. So Eric's
I don't know.
Eric's response might be
right.
I
got the right players. They didn't coach him up well enough. I understand.
Correct.
That's totally possible. But
and let me say for the record, I am not dropping some sort of cryptic hint that I know about.
Right.
I'm just bringing up a point.
What I'm saying is
Give me
that
another one of these
appears
pickles.
to be. No, you got to eat the whole thing.
Well, I can't. I got a luncheon.
No, you're going to eat the whole thing. It's not a big.
You're going to spoil your luncheon if you eat the pickle.
Half.
No, I didn't agree to eat
You
dog.
did. You agreed to eat half.
Yeah, well, I can't. I have a
You
luncheon.
keep saying that. We're not. And by the way, I've agreed that you don't have to eat half. But you need to eat that.
Well, I can't.
No, you can.
I have a luncheon.
Keep saying
and
you
I have
can.
to eat
You have to eat that.
a good meal.
You
is
can eat a good meal. Nobody's going to stop you from eating a good meal. I'm
If
not
you
going to go to
heated
your
it up,
luncheon.
it would be better.
To the point, I think that would be a better way of saying it.
Are
We're
these
going to
sweet
find
pickles
out.
or dill pickles?
All right, enough. We're going to find out.
I can't remember.
We're
Thinking of
going to find out whether or not it had more to do with the coaching or the drafting, because that's why you make this move. If you come in with another group next year and Mike Green's still not really a guy, then Mike Green just wasn't a good draft pick.
Right.
If you come in with another group next year,
What do you think
and-
the right Steve said 80-20, like that's kind of insane. But
Yeah.
what do you think the right number is?
on hits versus misses,
Yeah.
more like 60.
yeah, I was thinking
65-30,
65-30,
65-35?
something in that neighborhood. I mean, what are we qualifying as a hit?
I mean,
right?
Jar Alexander was a miss.
Yeah, that was a miss, but it was a low-risk miss. So, that one doesn't bother me all that much.
Okay, but it was a miss.
It was a miss, but again, he was pulling off the scrap heap at that point. That's late in free agency. Jair Alexander was one more guy.
It's because we let Chuck Clark go.
Well, Chuck Clark had been gone for some time. So
I'm
I don't
kidding.
think they're related.
Maybe it's because we let Malik Harrison go.
I don't think they have
Yeah,
anything
maybe
to
it's
do
because we
with
let Malik Harrison and Patrick Queen go.
Was Earl Thomas a hit or a miss, right?
It was a miss, and Eric
Yes.
has admitted over and over and over
Yes.
why he did it, why it was a mistake. It was a total knee-jerk reaction to losing C.J. Mosley, whom he thought he was going to have. In the 11th hour, C.J.'s agent called and said, we're taking the Jets offer. He needs a new start. And Eric openly has admitted he panicked the next day and signed Earl Thomas without vetting him.
And how do you measure the fact that for 1 to 2 years, Roquan Smith was a smash hit and now is a wild miss? How do you measure that?
Well, we might argue about the semantics of wild miss, but
Right now?
he's regressed.
Regressed.
Yeah, he's regressed.
I mean,
I don't know if he's a wild miss.
You're
some
paying-
of that's on him.
I agree with that. That's what how do you
he's got to
measure
man
that?
up. Right.
How do you measure the fact
okay.
that for 2 years, Roquan Smith was as big a hit as they had? And for the last 2 years, I mean, in 2024, he was meh. This year, he wasn't worth $10 million.
Right.
He wasn't an impact player at all.
He had a couple good games.
He had the Browns game.
But,
and the,
but overall, I would agree. I'm not arguing with you.
how do you measure that?
I might push back on wild miss, but but
mean,
fair enough.
For the price, this was a wild miss.
We're
going to
argue about whether or not Demi Moore was really hot or just hot.
These are the things.
What do you think?
What era?
Dude, in Ghost, she was real.
Striptease era. She was really hot.
She was kind of oddly hot in A Few Good Men. With the whole
oddly hot.
with
She was
the
just
with
hot.
the whole
Yeah,
power
what are you
trip
talking
thing,
about? Oddly
telling
hot.
Tom
No,
Cruise,
she was hot.
You're going down to Cuba
You're
with
wrong.
me, and that's the end of it.
Right now.
See, I think she was only hot.
Oh, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
I'm kidding.
No.
Okay.
No, I can't.
What'd he
Sorry.
say?
I'd like to. Can he do after 12? Is that possible?
Not sure.
Who, me?
Find out. No. No, definitely not you. You got a luncheon. We got.
I do have luncheon. 12:30 luncheon.
That's all relevant. It's all relevant in this conversation. That right now, how many guys on this football team are in general smash hits? And there's we think still the quarterback, Kyle Hamilton, Derrick Henry for the most part, probably still Zay Flowers, and end of list.
Of what? Of who?
Of guys that are real smash hits. Guys that
You mean that Eric's responsible for?
Eric's responsible for. And somebody would say Eric's not actually responsible for Lamar, right? That was Ozzie. It's a short list of guys that are cornerstone pieces right now that you are very confident in. There's guys that are going to be here that you think might be. Nate Wiggins might be a really good football player. Malachi Starks, I have no
interesting
idea.
you would say that you would frame it as cornerstone pieces. Who are those pieces in Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have a similar problem. There's no doubt about it. And yet
Who,
here they are
who
still
are those
playing.
pieces in Seattle?
I mean, they have Seattle's defense is a little bit more loaded with those guys.
But who are? I mean, the wide receiver is one of them.
Well, obviously, Jackson Smith and
But who-
Jigba is. And Kenneth Walker is, too. Kenneth Walker has still been really good. And whether we like it or not, they're accepting that Sam Darnold is, and based on how he's played, he is. Like, there's kind of no argument about that. That's a hit. On defense, 1,000% Tariq Woolen is. Like, there is no doubt about that.
I guess my whole point to that was I think most teams only have 4 or 5 of them. I don't think most teams have 8.
I don't know. I don't know if good team like most
I'm
good
thinking,
teams.
I'm thinking about them all. I can't name 5 guys on the Patriots.
Well, but part of that is you don't watch the Patriots every week.
Right.
A lot of people in the rest of the country don't know that Kyle Hamilton is a cornerstone piece. Like, you don't know.
The Gonzalez kid's really good in New
Gonzalez kid
England.
is unbelievable.
Dude,
in
that
New
kid
England.
is a
And
rock
who's
star.
Who's the safety? Jones? That kid's unreal, too.
Yeah, that Gonzalez guy is a beast.
I don't. This is what I'm saying. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know. I'm not saying
But I would
no.
also then submit to you, and this would just be, this has nothing to do with me when I say I was a general manager. This has nothing to do with this, not even germane to it. But I would say part of the general manager, the bigger part of the general manager's job is filling in the rest of it. That's now that argument, if you want to make that argument against Eric, oh, okay. That might be worth that argument, but might be worth having. Like, again, I don't remember all of these players and where. Like Voorhees was his guy, Falalale his guy, Linderbaum his guy. In fairness, who's been very good. Travis Jones his guy. These are the fill-in,
too.
but these are the fill-in guys, right? Like. These are the fillers. No, Jones, they just gave a lot of money to, so they're hoping
Travis Jones is a stud. Travis
yeah.
Jones
I mean,
absolutely on the good.
he's not a right.
Yeah,
he's not a
BK, but
he's not a cornerstone guy, but he's a corner.
He's very good.
He's
the second best player on the team this year.
Right, agree. So, I think where we get into this, debate about Eric and about what Steve said yesterday, is when we hear 80-20. Our immediate reaction to that is that probably isn't true, Steve.
It's definitely not true.
Right. So then, and this gets back a little bit to what I said before about Steve. Steve, are you paying attention?
Are you aware? It's a fair question. It's a fair question.
Are you paying attention? It's not 80-20.
Let's roll through these real quick because these are the other things that
And
I
wear
thought.
a tie next time.
This is you. And make the man drive in so you can fire him. Make him spend some more time.
You don't
so
have
you
to
can
make him
fire
drive
him.
in. You have to come to the office.
Lord.
Be involved.
Lord. Next, this was, I thought, telling because of how unprovoked it was. There was a question that was asked, I believe, by Jonas about if there was anything that was disqualifying in the search for a head coach.
Well, this was
And-
the biggest piece of the day.
Yeah, to some extent.
It was.
To some extent, it was. This was
the biggest nugget of the
telling
day.
because the question was not asked specifically about this, but he went out of his way to bring it up. This was Steve Bisciotti.
You know, the one thing that I know that I will probably take it on the chin is if our final candidate is an ex-coach who has a losing record, and you all are going to have to understand that we are going to be able to judge that failure with his circumstances and marry that up and not disqualify them. So it's interesting you said, is there anything that's disqualifying? Where we are, I could say I'm disqualifying coaches with losing records, but I think you have to remember that they were the hottest coaches in their cycle, and they got jobs and they got tough jobs. And I don't think we have a tough job. I think that we got to we created the best opening in this cycle, and so that was the one category that I didn't want to ignore, because the first thing you all are going to say is, my God, he went 38-48 in his last job and they're hiring him. When Tony Dungy said,
Yeah. I mean, based on who they brought in for interviews, it's very clear that they're considering those guys. It's just interesting how almost pre-defensive he is about it. That nobody asked, hey, why are you hiring guys? Or why are you interviewing guys that had bad records as a head coach? He kind of went out of his way to bring it up. Now, that doesn't mean that they've already decided that they're going to hire someone. They're going to hire Kevin Stefanski, or they're going to hire Robert Saleh, or they're going to hire, Matt Nagy, who actually was above 500 during his time in Chicago, which nobody remembers. But that being so unprovoked that nobody and the defensiveness already being out there definitely stands out in terms of, have you started to zero in on somebody? Is there someone that you're starting to zero in on, or a couple of guys you're starting to zero in on that you think fit into that column? And Cliff Kingsbury would be one of those guys too. So,
I thought it was the nugget of the day.
Yeah.
It certainly. I found it to be very eye-opening, refreshing, good to hear. I obviously, if you're interviewing someone, you more than likely, because I know occasionally they do the smokescreen thing. I get it, but more than likely, if you're bringing someone in, now I get it. All of them also haven't been in person. Some of them have been Zoom, which is free. But if you're bringing someone into town, and you got to go through all of the machinations of the flight, the limo, the Ruth's Chris gets delivered over there so you can impress the guy. Like, $1,000 or $2,000 to them is like $3 to you and I. They don't care. But if you're going through all of that, you have an interest in the guy. So I think we knew they had an interest, but hearing Steve say that yesterday really leads me to believe they're as likely to hire a retread as they are to hire a new person, and I like that. I like that.
I think that's very.
I don't think it should disqualify Robert Saleh or Cliff Kingsbury. I don't think it should disqualify them at all. And I made a mention today. I wrote about this on my website today. Like my first 2 years, and I went to John Carroll. We went 0-8 and 0-8. I'm glad Lou Ackroyd didn't hold that against me.
Sure.
We didn't win one match because I didn't have any golfers.
Right. I get it.
I like hearing that. I do.
I mean, I didn't need to hear it because I think that I could say all those same things, and I think that anybody that just chooses to weaponize someone's record brainlessly, without context, without nuance, that's on them. They're a dullard for that. But I did think it was interesting how unprovoked it was. And then two that were interesting related to the quarterback of the football team. The first being how involved Lamar's going to be, and I think he nailed that. How involved Lamar is going to be. This is, again, Steve Bisciotti from yesterday's end-of-season Ravens press conference.
I think that Eric made it clear to Lamar that when we get down here, talking to him, I think he's texting Lamar after every interview, whether it's Zoom or in person. And I think he's getting some opinions from Lamar. I said to Lamar last night, when they call me up from Florida, you better get your ass up here too. Because if you want to do the interviewing, these are going to be full-day meetings like they were 18 years ago. And they go from department to department to department, right? So I said to Lamar, you can jump on my plane or find another way to get up there. But if you're that interested, then we're going to get a schedule. He's going to call me up. He's going to offer you the same luxury. And I said, I hope you take it. And he said, yes, sir, I think I will. So we'll find out.
Obviously, he went on.
It was interesting later on.
Yeah, when he did the.
It almost looked like he got a text message from someone that said, "Just remind everybody that the players don't have any power."
Right. It's funny because depending on which part of you can play it if you want. I don't care. I mean, you can just play the audio. We don't need to watch it. Go ahead. It's fine. Hit play.
Steve, you did mention that you invited Lamar to come up for the interviews if he wants to the final round of interviews and everything. When it's all said and done, how much of a say will Lamar have in the head coach selection?
A lot of say, but he has no power. I have the power.
Yeah, that's.
They have
and by the way,
opinions, and I want them all.
Both of those answers are really good answers because they're what we knew. This is the way that it works. If you think that Lamar Jackson isn't going to be involved in this process, you're out of your effing mind. And we'll reiterate in a second, the first thing the Ravens have to do, no matter who the coach is get Lamar's extension done. That's the biggest thing that hangs over this organization, arguably even bigger than the coaching search. It has to happen. They're not going to hire a coach and then say afterwards, oh, you don't like him? Too bad. But what he said there is important. Lamar doesn't get to hire the coach either. Like, Lamar doesn't get to say, well, you know who I always liked was, Roman. I really love that guy. Go hire him. Like, it doesn't work that way. But this is the exact correct combination of answers. Now, again, because we're dullards and the internet lacks nuance, you're going to choose which one you like, and you're going to say, Steve Bisciotti reminds Lamar Jackson he has no power. Or you're going to choose to say, Steve Bisciotti's letting Lamar Jackson hire the coach. And neither one of them are true. What's true is exactly the way that it should be. Lamar has to be involved in the process, period.
Yeah, I don't think Lamar, it's just my guess. I could be totally wrong on this. I don't think Lamar will ever be asked, which one do you want? I don't think that happens. But I think he gets to sit in, and I agree. I think Lamar should sit in. I think let him fire off. Let him go to lunch with the guy. For sure. Let him go to lunch with whomever it is. Maybe if it's a defensive guy, Lamar gives him a different perspective. I don't know. Lamar should – Steve said it perfectly. He gets to say.
That's the way it works.
He gets to say, let me sit with this guy, let me ask him some questions. But I don't think they will ever say to Lamar, okay, give us your choice.
Yeah, it's down to these two. Who you
because I think when you do that, you've opened yourself up to potentially you deciding that's not the guy. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the quarterback saying, well, you guys wanted Salah, and I told you it should be McDaniel.
That's exactly right.
So I think Steve was telling the truth. I think he handled it perfectly. I don't think you should ask Lamar who do you want, because you don't ask a question you don't not sure you want the answer to. But I do think he should have, and I would say this. I think Kyle Hamilton ought to have a say. I think there should be representation on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And when I mean say, I mean whatever authoritative rules you're giving to Lamar, let Kyle Hamilton have the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to, I have no problem with
I would say this. I think let me say this because I'm all for Lamar having a say. Mm-hmm. So when I say this, I'm not saying it to be detrimental to Lamar. I do think it's a little dangerous to only allow one player to have that kind of input. I think it doesn't. I think it looks cosmetically. I'm not sure it looks good for the rest of the players.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that. I think if you asked them to a man, they would all say they know that's how it works. That's football.
But
right?
I think
we know.
But I think Kyle Hamilton is the defensive version of Lamar.
In a world where there is one, the problem is that's not how football works. There isn't a defensive.
But what's the harm in asking Kyle Hamilton?
I'm not saying that there's a harm in it. I'm saying if they said, hey, you know who else?
You don't like us from Notre Dame or something?
That's exactly what it is. If you know who else's
you're anti-Catholic.
Exactly what it is. You know who else's opinion I'd like to get? I'm just going to run this by Kyle Hamilton, see if he has anything. I have no problem
Steve
with
said
that.
yesterday
But the notion, we know how that works in the NFL. The quarterback is the power broker.
Well, Steve did say yesterday he talked to a number of players.
He did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Guys that are center pieces. But I don't know that means he's going to put them on their plane.
Anti-Notre Dame, huh?
I don't think he's going to say to Kyle Hamilton, get on the plane and be here for interview day. Like, I don't think that's going to happen the same way. But if he did want to call him and say afterwards, like, hey, I don't know what you know about this guy, but maybe you should watch how his defenses operate and see what you think about the fit.
I don't know what you know about Marcus Freeman, but
yeah. No, that's what you think? You think that's the way it's
I don't know what you think of it.
All right, let's
Are you surprised that they didn't interview him?
Who, Freeman?
Yeah.
He can't interview for the job. He can't. He can't interview for it.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. No. He can't. He can't be in on a job and not get it. He has an unimpeachable brand. He can wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Okay, hold on. Are you surprised that they aren't interested in hiring him?
I have no idea if they're interested in hiring him or not. Because if they are, it cannot become public.
Well, that was kind of, I guess that's why I asked you. Because my contention is there is someone out there they haven't revealed.
If they're interested in any college coach, we will never know about it. This is not the way it was once upon a time, because they're all trying to get kids out of the transfer portal, and they know the moment that they are connected to another job that there's another coach who's going to the 6 kids that they're working on and saying, he's not going to be there, you're coming over here.
I do think they would be interested in him.
I think they might be interested in multiple college coaches. Marcus Freeman has a minimal amount of NFL
Loxley's right down the road.
That's true. Marcus Freeman has a minimal amount of NFL experience. He was on some practice squads.
Right.
That's the difficult part everybody wants to talk about.
Would you object to him?
Would I object to him? He would not be at the top of my list.
Okay. Interesting.
there would. I mean,
Now that you've seen this yesterday, who's at the top of your list?
Not top of my list, or
Well, yeah, your list.
who I would take
If
because
Steve
we're about to do
called
the
you.
draft.
If Steve called you.
Yeah, I mean, Clint Kubiak's still my guy.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're gonna do the draft, and we're gonna. In fact, let's do it right now. This draft is gonna be brought to you. You still have to eat that.
I can't. I got a luncheon.
you had-
I just tried to cancel it, and the guy said,
no.
not only can you
That's
not
okay.
cancel it,
This is like 4 bites left. You're good.
No,
it's like
I
4
can't.
bites. Go ahead.
I
right
can't.
Now.
I'm not
Go ahead.
eating it.
Yeah, go ahead right now.
You're not doing this to me. I'm not 14.
No, you're
Go ahead and smoke this real quick.
No. I would never force you to do that unless you came home and if I found out that you had been smoking.
Go ahead and drink this
Then I'm going
real-
to make you smoke the whole.
Go
pack.
ahead and drink this real quick.
It's going to go. No, go ahead. Finish it up.
I'm not
Well,
finishing
we'll
it up.
wait.
I'm not 14.
Well, wait. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go with your draft,
I'm
please.
Go ahead. Have another bite. Then we'll do the draft.
I am going to have a bite.
No, a full bite.
No.
Not a picking a pickle.
I'm not having the
Go
crust.
ahead and
The crust is terrible.
No.
The crust is the
You know what would
lost
actually
the-
be good with this?
The
You
Jell-O,
lost
the
the bet.
Jell-O
Now
is
you know what you're doing? You're doing exactly what you wanted Steve Bisciotti to do. You're wasting Griffin's time.
That's correct.
That's what you want. You want someone else to spend their time on you.
If it's good enough for Steve, it's good enough for me.
No, he didn't do that. He didn't waste John Harbaugh's time.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, he wasted the last 3 years.
Is that what it was?
This might be better with mayonnaise.
Maybe it would be. We don't have
Which
that.
is
Go
weird.
ahead. Go ahead. Have one more bite. Go
I'm
ahead
not.
and have another bite.
I'm not.
No, you need to. You
I'm
lost
going to
you
the
lost-
luncheon.
You lost the bet.
I don't know
okay,
about
so you want us
that.
to save it for next week? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Why don't we save it? We'll save it. He can finish it next week.
All right.
That's what
Yeah,
we can do.
Yeah, we got a
that's
fridge.
a good idea.
Loser of this.
Bring it out
Losers.
every time Drew comes in.
Now, I will eat the next thing.
No. You're gonna eat this too.
No, this is terrible.
No, you're gonna eat this. 2 losers of this draft. Whoever gets it right will be absolved. The other 2 losers are going to have to share a Warden burger. This has been going viral this week.
Dude, this looks mysteriously pretty good.
I mean, it looks visually it looks awful.
But
But then I look at the ingredients and Drew's right. I'm like,
no.
it's like these are all things I've eaten.
how bad can you get? This onions, ground turkey. How bad can it be?
The list is tomato. It's a Warden burger. It's a fiber-heavy slop made
Okay.
at least from the New York Post.
All right.
Made of tomato paste, flour, dry milk, oats, beans, ground turkey, cabbage, carrots, potatoes, onion, celery, and garnished with a dash
It
of
sounds
salt.
like shepherd's pie.
It does.
on a piece of bread.
It does not really. So here we go. Who will
don't
be?
know.
Sheriff Dick Jones.
There you go.
Butler County,
Dick
Ohio.
Jones. Who will be the next
just-
head coach of the Baltimore Ravens? That's what we're drafting.
How do we decide the
Who
first
gets
pick?
the first
Yeah,
pick?
How does this work? Draw straws. I don't know how.
Well, Drew lost the last bet,
What's
so
the?
we should let him.
how many people we picked?
So give him first
Drew.
pick.
I think we each get 10 picks.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna name 30
Yeah,
names.
30 names, 100%.
But
By the way, they've been connected to 20 already.
But hold
Are we
on.
gonna be able to do this in 4 minutes?
So are we picking coordinators,
Yeah,
coach?
anybody at all who might be the next head
You
coach.
can say
of the
Glenn
Baltimore
Oh,
Clark.
Ravens.
wait a
You can
minute.
say Glenn
Just
Clark.
for the head coach.
Head coach. That's it. Anybody at all who might be the head coach. So you
Okay.
You get either you can either have the first pick or you can have the third and the fourth picks. Which pick do you want?
I can have the first,
Or the
third, and the fourth.
or you get the snake.
Why can't you go second?
I guess if you want to go second, that's fine. You can go second too. That's fine. Quick, we gotta go.
Oh, please calm down.
No, we have a guest. We gotta go.
I'll go third and
fourth. Griffin's leading currently in our picks.
This is ridiculous.
So I'll take the second spot.
Oh,
And
okay.
Griffin, you can no.
You want the second spot.
I do want the second spot. I
All
want
right.
the second
All right.
spot.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
So Griffin, you'll get the first, and then you'll get sixth. All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
I will take Jesse Minter.
Take Jesse Minter, considered the betting favorite to be the next head coach of the team. I'll take Stefanski.
Damn, this worked out perfect.
Yeah.
I'll take Kubiak, Clint, that is,
Yeah.
and Robert Saleh.
Saleh.
Whatever, Saleh, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Then back to me. I'll take.
Man, that did work out perfect for me.
Oh yeah, you're happy.
Because
with
those
that?
are my 1, 2.
Well, look at that. Look at how that worked out for you then. I'll take
All right, we got a guest.
Kingsbury.
Ooh, a little curveball there. Okay.
I will go. Man. I'll go. All right, so I get 2 here.
Mm-hmm.
Flores.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Well,
This
then, no,
is-
never mind. Hold
No,
on.
it's working out perfect for me. Go ahead.
Flores and
Holy cow.
Weaver.
Okay.
Oh, this is so good. I'll take Davis Webb.
No, it's not your pick, and I will take Davis Webb.
Oh, shit.
You think it's gonna be Davis Webb?
I don't, but
Well, that's good because I didn't want him anyway.
good. Look at what you pulled it off. didn't you? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. I shouldn't say that on the air.
Okay. It's a good guess.
Dynamite. You 2 picks.
Chris Shula
Okay.
and
Who we're about to dive in a little bit more on. Come on.
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady. I'll go. I don't want to. I'll go Vance Joseph.
I will take then. Do I take Signetti here?
Can we do trades?
Who do you want?
You know who I want because I think he might get the job. Davis Webb.
You want Davis Webb? Give me Kubiak. I'll give you Davis Webb.
No.
I'll take.
I do think there's a really good chance Davis Webb gets a job.
Okay.
I'll take Scheelhaase. I think
Okay.
that's what it's called.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
House.
and then
Whatever it is.
I don't know if it's Shell or is it Shell or Scheel?
It
I think it's
doesn't
Shell. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it's Shell. I don't know. And then Nagy.
Okay. I'll go off the beaten path. I'll go Marcus Freeman here.
Me?
Yep.
What's Rob Ambrose doing?
That's a good question.
Man, we're kind of running out of guys, right?
Not really.
We're not.
Yeah. Just got to get more creative.
Well, I'll give you a real wild card.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Harbaugh.
Jay Harbaugh. Okay. You got to pick another pick.
He interviewed with somebody, didn't he, yesterday?
If you say so.
I think he did.
I'm sure.
I think so.
Okay. Name somebody else.
I haven't heard his name mentioned yet, but it doesn't matter. Matt Burke.
Matt Burke.
Not Matt. I'm talking about Matt Burke,
B-U-R-K-E.
the Texans. Right.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, that's the one I would say there's zero chance of
Mm-hmm.
for head coach.
Well, you went with Jay Harbaugh.
He's a Harbaugh.
It's true.
Mike LeFleur.
Okay.
Haven't heard him yet either. But
Should I just go both
Surprised.
LeFleurs?
That's
that.
not a bad.
I'll go LeFleur.
Okay. He would have to be fired, obviously.
Oh.
But,
Oh,
you know.
interesting.
Just because it's the 7th round, Mike Tomlin.
Good pick. I picked too many defensive guys though. So.
Okay. Me?
Yes. No condiments on the Wardenburger, by the way. That's part of it.
We gotta have cheese,
Yeah,
No.
mayonnaise.
No.
You have to have
No,
cheese.
you eat it like they're eating it.
dude. It's prison. Those guys have cheese.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They don't.
Oh boy. Jim Schwartz.
And?
Nah, total wild card, I guess. Sean McDermott.
Okay. I don't mind that. I'll take Grant Yadinsky.
That's a good one too. They haven't interviewed him yet, though,
They
right?
haven't, which is really odd considering they've interviewed Davis Webb.
And everybody is
Yeah.
really high on Yadinsky. It's interesting. I felt kind of bad for them the other day.
Did you?
I did.
Why?
I think they were a pretty good team.
I agree.
And
They
they got a bad draw.
Okay.
If they would have drawn the Chargers, they would have won 31-10
I mean, sure.
I'll go.
How bad were the Chargers?
Spags,
Sunday night.
Spags, and Signetti.
Who?
Steve Spagnuolo and Kurt Signetti.
Sounds like a law firm.
Not sure if you're familiar with the two of them.
It's a law firm I won't represent me.
Do you? those are your guys? Yeah. Man. Like I at this point I really am out on good ideas. And just down to, you know, is there some wild hair on the ass? Dan Lanning.
Bill Belichick.
There you go. You get one more pick. Your final pick of the draft.
Kirby Smart.
I really don't even have someone that I like.
I mean,
here.
might as well just say Bozo the Clown at this point.
I really don't like any of the.
Let's go Steve Sarkisian. Go with all the college coaches.
Yeah, go Steve Sarkisian.
Mike Mayo.
How about who?
Mike Mayock to be the coach.
Hey,
Kadri.
You know, not sure. Why not? How about Jeff Hafley?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about him. Brian Dable.
Probably not.
Yeah, Dable's not a bad pick, actually. I mean, it's the head
really?
coach.
I mean, I got a
head
better
coach,
chance of
probably
getting
not.
Yeah.
I could call Eric and get an
Come on.
interview.
Last pick.
Dable.
There you go, Brian Dable. That's our draft.
McCown. Josh McCown.
Josh McCown. That's our draft.
Oh.
We'll post it here in a bit at GlennClarkRadio.com. Can we take a break?
You know what? Probably.
All right, when we come back in, we're going to preview, or we're going to dive in on two of those candidates. D'Marco Farr, Rams radio analyst, will be joining us to discuss Chris Shula and Nathan Scheelhaase. That's next. Drew's here. It's Glenn Clark Radio. Get in the game with Volo Sports. With over 15 sports to choose from, join a league or grab a Volo membership for discounted play, free daily pickups, fitness classes, and exclusive events. But the best part? A portion of every league fee helps the Volo Kids Foundation provide free sports to over 5,000 kids across Baltimore City each year. Don't miss out. Early pricing for the winter season ends December 12th. Final registration deadline is January 15th. Sign up now at volosports.com/Baltimore.
This January, go for the gold at Live Casino and enter to win the ultimate winter experience. Earn the entire month of January, and on Saturday, January 24th, you could be one of 25 lucky winners to take their place on the podium and win a share of $50,000 in prizes, including a trip to the 2026 Winter Games in Milano Cortina. Let the games begin at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with two great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Looking for Baltimore's premier waterfront dining experience? Head to Nick's Fish House, located in the Baltimore Peninsula. Enjoy crabs all year long, plus happy hour Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6. Planning a celebration? From rehearsal dinners to corporate crab feasts, Nick's is the spot to make it unforgettable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Live music fills the air every Thursday through Sunday. Check out the full lineup at nicksfishhouse.com. Nick's, it's where Baltimore comes to eat, drink, and play by the water.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
Back in here on GCR as we continue along. The Ravens need a new head coach. Our show is also brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel, where, don't forget, it's the best place to watch every playoff game the rest of the way is Inside Sports and Social. 100-foot media wall, great food and drink specials, and just steps away from the FanDuel Sportsbook. Live Casino and Hotel, Sports and Social. 2 candidates that are Rams assistant coaches have already interviewed, they have not already interviewed. They've already been connected to the Ravens head coaching job. We'd argue there's a third that we're kind of surprised hasn't been connected to the Ravens head coaching job. Joining us now to tell us more about at least the 2, maybe all 3, he is, of course, Rams radio analyst, Super Bowl champion himself. Our friend D'Marco Farr is back with us now here on GCR. D'Marco, it's Glenn and Drew here in Baltimore. It's always great to catch up, man. Thank you for taking the time.
No wonders. I feel like I'm in Bizarro world. I cannot believe that the Baltimore Ravens job is open.
Why?
I can't believe Harbaugh's there. I really can't.
Okay, is that because
Is that because
you don't think they should have, or just because the Ravens don't normally do these things?
Both. The Ravens don't normally do this, and then Pittsburgh at the same time is without Mike Tomlin, so this is really weird. When the Rams came to Baltimore, we're getting ready to play the Ravens. Always tough to play an AFC North team. That game went back and forth, and then I started to hear "Fire Harbaugh" chants from the stands, and I'm like, I never ever would have thought I would have heard that about him this year, but here we are talking about vacancies in Baltimore. Just shocking.
I think let me work this way, D'Marco. There are, as I bring up, we know there are 2 that have been connected to the Ravens, and Chris Shula and Nathan Scheelhaase. But I would throw Mike LeFleur into this conversation as well. If you were a football team and you had centered on, we're going to hire a current Rams assistant coach to be our next head coach, which of the 3 would you be hiring?
I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. Chris Shula probably out in front because I think he's more ready for the job. He's been groomed for it. He's kind of rocketed up the charts. He's been with McVay. They were roommates for a while, so he's gotten the most out of that McVay rub as far as how to be a coach and game planning and all that stuff. He's on the defensive side. I know that turns some people off, but talk about a guy that's ready to lead a football team right now, it would be Chris Shula. The other guy off that list would probably be Nate Scheelhaase because former quarterback, he's a guy that's, again, went from, I guess, assistant coach to a trusted member of the brain trust. When Sean McVay and his group get together and come up with game plans, he's in that room. That's rarefied air. Most coaches don't get to do that. He's young. He's new. He's got some great ideas, and he can coach his butt off. So I guess that would be by default number 2. And then I would never, ever, ever discount LeFleur. The guy's got football in his blood. Another guy. We went to Arizona, and I found this out later. We went to Arizona to play the Cardinals without Sean McVay. He had gotten sick. We found that out the day of the game. LeFleur had actually coordinated the game plan, and I think the Rams scored 44 points that day. The offense looked similar. It was just a little bit different, a little bit more run-heavy. So another guy, like you said, is ready for prime time. So, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those guys.
Let me start. We'll go one by one, and let's talk about all of them. And let me start with Chris Shula, who, of course, obviously has coaching in his blood, as you point out. What has Chris Shula brought to the Rams defense? Because I think what maybe is most interesting is I don't know, while some of these guys are, of course, legitimate stars now, I don't know that we thought of all of these guys as being rock stars necessarily, the Jared Verses of the world when they were drafted. What has Chris Shula brought to make this group as dynamic as it is?
Well, he's just by the measurables, the counting stats, he's the most successful defensive coordinator the Rams have had. Now, I came in doing this job right after Lovie Smith stepped down into the Jim Haslett era. Going through Greg Williams, which was interesting, Wade Phillips, which was a former head coach, a lot of success there, all the way through Raheem Morris to Chris Shula. What does he bring, I guess, is relentless truth and a forward-facing coach. Like, he's going to coach you right to your face. He is going to get the best out of you and more out of you than you knew was there. And that's all that defenders actually crave and really want. They want that relentless truth, not just some good stuff for the newspaper. So, like you said, he's a guy that's grown up in this business. He understands it. His dad was a coach. His grandfather was one of the greatest ever. So he's got that instant respect. As soon as you see the name Shula or hear the name Shula, it's instant respect. And then he backs it up with relentless truth. So no matter what, and I go into the locker room every game, I've never seen him blow his stack. I've never seen him lose his composure, no matter what the score and what the complexion of the game is or how his defense is playing. It's always about truth and what they need to do to get back to playing to their standards. So it's kind of like a Sean McVay light just on the other side of the ball. So if it works on that side for the offense, it's working for the defense as well.
How confident would you be in his – you bring up the not everybody likes a defensive coach, and I know D'Marco, with no disrespect to defensive players, I admittedly am in that camp where I say I'm terrified that if you hire a defensive head coach, then you're going to have an offensive coordinator that's going to be clicking, and then they're going to get a head coaching job, and you're going to be scrambling after that point. But his ability, given his relationships, and we were discussing this earlier with Clint Kubiak as well, but his ability to build a more dynamic staff perhaps than other first-year head coaches might, I would assume that he has an advantage because of the relationships that he has.
I'm sure he's going to bring in the right offensive coordinator or the right group of minds to run that side of the ball. I mean, he's not a guy that just is from the old school Buddy Ryan. It's all about defense. He understands the game, and he understands he's going to have to be involved in that side. And this is so funny. When I do talk to Sean McVay about this, about a guru or an offensive-minded head coach, he quickly points out most offensive gurus are really masters of defense. They understand that side of the ball, which is why they can manipulate and exploit it. Chris Shula is the same way. He studies offense. He gets it. He understands it. He appreciates it. He comes up with ways to slow you down or to stop it. That's because he has an interest in it. So I'm sure he can build an offensive staff worthy enough to score points in the NFL. Would you say no to Mike McDonald if he was available?
Of course not.
There's a defensive-minded guy who's pretty good.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter which side of the ball you kind of fall on. It just matters, are you a well-rounded coach?
He is D'Marco Farr, and he is with us here on GCR as we're discussing the Rams assistants who are candidates for the Ravens head coaching job. D'Marco, it's interesting when we talk about Nathan Scheelhaase because I guess the dumb guy question is, well, then why isn't he the offensive coordinator, right? Like if he's in the brain trust, if he's that guy, why isn't he the coordinator? Can you kind of explain a little bit more of that dynamic to me and why someone who hasn't been the play caller to you is perhaps even slightly more ready to be a head coach?
I'll liken it to this back when Pete Carroll was at USC and he would stack his running back room with All-American after All-American after All-American. So when you get your carries, it's up to you to get the hell out of here because the next guy is not going to wait. This is before NIL and the transfer portal. But same thing here. Nate Scheelhaase is a guy that you could say is jumping the line, but that's because he has earned it. So he's going to get his interviews. So whether or not he gets a job or if LeFleur gets a job, he will move up next year, guaranteed, based on the job he's done, the group he's working with, and how much he's impressed Sean McVay. So at some point, he's going to move up and be in position to be a head coach in the National Football League. It's so funny when you see guys. There are guys that coach and they become lifers as assistant coaches, and they're fine with that. They have no desire to move up. They don't want to be OCs or DCs, or they're too old for that. Nate Scheelhaase is the opposite. This guy, like Puka Nacua, his hair is on fire. He wants to be that guy, and he's coaching hard to get it. So I'm glad people are taking notice because it became obvious to me early because watching Sean McVay from when he came in, only certain guys get into that room when it comes to game planning, and Nate Scheelhaase hasn't been here that long, and he's already there. So he's the guy to look out for whether he gets a job or not.
Is it possible that he's the next Sean McVay? Is that like I feel like that's what we were talking to actually Davis Webb, the passing game coordinator in Denver, who the Ravens interviewed, is only 30 years old. And so a lot of people have said, well, maybe you're finding your next Sean McVay. Is it possible your next Sean McVay is Nate Scheelhaase?
Now, I got to stop there. It's like your favorite boy band, and they split up and they all go solo. I'm not sure if they're all going to have, big hits or have a successful career like Sean McVay. Sean McVay is one of one. But you can learn a lot from him. You can learn about, how to pace yourself, because he almost burned himself out. Sean McVay almost killed himself after the Super Bowl. He was absolutely dead at that next year. So he had to learn how to pace himself. But you can learn a lot about how to prep, how to talk to people. That's the cool thing. With Nate Scheelhaase, LeFleur, they can talk to rookies all the way up to veterans the same way and get the same respect. So will that transfer or translate if you're running your own team? I do not know. But while you're here, it's good to emulate a guy like Sean McVay.
And what is the actual impact of Mike LeFleur? And I feel like this is, one of the interesting questions that we're asking, I don't know, about a lot of people. When you have an offensive-minded head coach, what is I think we've dealt with this with offense coordinators under Andy Reid, for example, or Grant Udinski's the offense coordinator in Jacksonville, but he's not the one calling the plays. What is the actual impact of Mike LeFleur under, and maybe even Nathan Scheelhaase as well, when Sean McVay is the head coach?
It's funny. I think it's the maturation of Sean McVay, because when he took the job, he was very young and he was very good at it. But now he's more willing to, I guess, delegate some. So this offense, with the way it's run, with Matthew Stafford, Puka, Devontae, all that stuff, there's a lot more input from those two guys, and their imprint, their thumbprint is on the offense. So he's more than willing to take your opinions and your ideas, as long as they're good ones and they're in line with what he thinks. Before, I couldn't say that's how he did things. So I think that's a testament to his growth and to how good LeFleur is, to actually put your game plan in or your ideas in and have Sean McVay call that to Matthew Stafford. So that's a big deal. That tells you that he knows exactly what he's doing and where the end zone is. So whether or not he can stand in front of a group of guys and lead them into battle, I don't know, or stand in front of the media and have to field and answer tough questions, I don't know. But as far as the X's and O's part, he's definitely got that down.
Acknowledging, before I let you go, D'Marco, acknowledging they have to go on the road. I believe going into the playoffs, the Rams were the favorite to win the NFC, just given their track record, and frankly, I believe them to be the most balanced team that's left in the postseason. Is that reckless, or do you share that belief?
No, I share that belief. You got a tough one coming up in Chicago. The Rams' Achilles heel, especially on defense, is mobile quarterbacks. And Chicago has been a meat grinder for QBs. But I said a guy like Caleb Williams, with that ability, he may be able to kind of end that curse. He is very mobile. The play's never dead, so that's always a problem. But if you can somehow find a way to get through that frozen tundra we're going to, and corral Caleb Williams and get by the Bears, then it's all familiar from here on out. San Fran, they know you. Going up to Seattle should not scare anybody in a Rams uniform, because you've been up there before and played in tough games. It does not matter what you label it, playoff game, regular season, what have you. You played some tough teams in Seattle before, so that's not going to rattle you. But you've got to keep the first thing first and get through Chicago. But if you can do that, I agree with you. And if this team can figure out how to play better on special teams and cover somebody up in the back end in case your pressure doesn't get there, then you have a chance to win football games and keep winning and play the last one of the season. But there's some issues. Whatever hurts you now is going to keep hurting you until you stop it.
He is D'Marco Farr, Rams radio analyst, and, of course, maybe he's going to be busy for the next few weeks. D'Marco, always appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
You got it, guys. Anytime.
It's D'Marco Farr, Rams analyst. You took Chris Shula.
Nice guy.
What?
Oh, nice guy.
I don't disagree with that. What is your deal?
Not a fan.
Of D'Marco? What? Or of the three candidates we were discussing?
No, not a fan of his.
Okay, all right. You took Chris Shula in the third round.
Not a fan.
Why? What did he do?
No, I took Chris Shula, and he's gotten the job, sounds like.
It's really interesting because...
Sounds to me like...
one of the things that I value...
If the Ravens had a hair on their ass, by the way, today, they would interview Greg Roman just for kicks.
Just for fun. Just to piss people off. Just to troll.
Just to see what the
troll.
response would
see
be.
What people would say. Thoughts on any of those three?
I'm a little surprised that LeFleur's... I guess I should say this. I was told at the beginning literally like day one, LeFleur and Burke would both be highly coveted by them.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't heard either one of their names.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've heard LeFleur and Burke elsewhere,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't heard that. I haven't heard either of their names yet from the Ravens. So that's interesting. Shula makes sense. I mean, they're look. I think it's interesting that they're just, they're trying to get to 24. We're going to interview 24. We'll cut it to 12. We'll cut it to 4. We'll go from. Just keep bringing them in. I mean, they brought Jim Schwartz in today.
And by the way, I think there's more qualifications for Jim Schwartz than people want to talk about. Like we're about to talk about Robert Saleh with Tim Ryan. I know you're on board with Robert Saleh. I would tell you that from a football standpoint, I think Jim Schwartz is more qualified than Robert Saleh is. It's just that we've kind of pigeonholed him in the not going to be a head coach again category.
Right. That's hard for me because he went to Mount St. Joe.
I understand that. But we've just said he's a defensive coordinator.
No, I get it.
As a defensive coordinator, he's more accomplished, and as a head coach, he was more accomplished than Robert Saleh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not opposed to
he took
Robert.
over a Browns team that was 0-16. They had to be better.
It's
like the opera. I said Browns. I meant Lions.
That's what we say. We all credit Dan Campbell with being the guy that saved the Lions.
Well, Schwartz started it.
The Lions were moribund until Jim Schwartz arrived. Now, he only got to the playoffs once. I'm not trying to portray as though he was dominant in Detroit. But that was in a place where you couldn't win. Qualifications-wise, Jim Schwartz has them. We've just kind of all decided he's just a defensive coordinator. He can't be a head coach again. But let's talk a little bit more about Robert Saleh, who I know you're very high on.
I would say, to me, he's the number one guy. I think he checks off a lot of boxes. I think there's a lot of things about him, and I'm not saying that shuttling him around town and showing him off the sponsors is the reason why you hire him, but he checks off all of those boxes. He's a guy that can represent the franchise very well. I think he's the number one guy, personally.
49ers color analyst, former NFL defensive lineman. You also hear him on Sirius XM. He is Tim Ryan, and he is with us now here on GCR. Tim, it's Glenn and Drew here in Baltimore. So when Drew Forrester thinks that Robert Saleh checks all of the boxes to be the next Baltimore Ravens head coach, what say you?
I say no chance. He checks no boxes.
You don't want him.
We don't want to lose him. We don't want to lose him, man. I think Drew's all over it. Robert absolutely checks every box. And, the things that, and everyone knows that, you guys know on the outside looking in and what he is. But I got to tell you, he is such a quality human being. And you hear that all the time. He's a great coach. He's a better person than he is coach. It's absolutely true. And in this new way of doing things with all the digital and all the data, and you want a guy that can digest and know how to do all that stuff better than most of the IT guys sitting in the building. And there's a lot of good ones. And Robert, without question, knows how to get to the right data, knows how to do it all, how to present it all, how to whittle it down to the most important data. And I think that, it reflects every day in this building and has since he got back. His players absolutely love him. And what he delivers for them in terms of putting them in positions to succeed. And you guys know coming into this season with the way this roster looked and the purge in the offseason with, 6-7 starters that they got rid of because they had to in terms of, contracts and the salary cap and age and injury and everything else that goes into those decisions. I'll be honest with you, there was a lot for me, and I've been here 12 years. There was a lot of trepidation by me, like, man, this is going to be a hard job. And, you look at them and the points are better in terms of points allowed. Situational football, much better in the red zone. One of the best teams in the NFL in the 2-minute. With all the injuries, with Bosa going down week 3, with Fred Warner going down against Tampa, Michael Williams, first-round pick. You couple that with all the guys that were lost in the offseason and how he's been able to piece this thing together and get quality football in big situations. The defense has really helped, and a lot of young guys helped many times this year in determining the outcomes of games and winning games. A great example was the Philly game the other night on 4th and 11, and getting 2 linebackers out there that have been here for a month. And Eric Kendricks played a lot of football. Garrett Wallow has not played a lot of football. Both of those guys were probably the defensive players of the game in terms of the way they played in a big moment on the road. So Saleh absolutely checks all the boxes. You're not going to find, I'll tell you this, you will not find a head coaching candidate that's in better physical condition that takes care of himself like Robert does. Family man, a guy you could take anywhere and to be a spokesperson for your franchise. And I think Steve would absolutely love him. I think those two guys, when they do interview, if and when it does happen, Mr. Bisciotti is going to realize what kind of guy he just brought into the room.
And I said that earlier, Tim. In this world, this world, NFL-wise, the revenue generating these franchises are trying to do, and certainly with the Ravens, as it is the case in a lot of other cities, with some of the new seating stuff that they've done and the big money they're commanding or asking for these seats, I do think it matters that the guy who is the front of the organization is overly presentable. And I'm not saying that the other guys aren't. I just think he really brings a lot more to the table than just being the head coach. You even mentioned that little thing about he's in great physical condition. Just the whole package of him just seems to be
the whole thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I know there are other guys they're looking at, but I think he's going to blow them away if he gets into the room eventually with them.
Well, I promise you, when he gets in that room, his formula and his blueprint, he believes in it. And it's not just the defensive, portfolio that he's got. He's been a head coach. I think you could look at the Jets. I wasn't shocked that Woody fired him. We know that whole deal in New York. He's been in a big market. I thought he handled that market well, which is not easy to do. But then you look at what happened to the Jets this year and went out and got Aaron Glenn, still had all that talent, and go get another defensive coach. And we saw what happened with those guys in terms of the product on the football field for whatever reason. But for me, it was like, wow, is there buyer's remorse for Woody Johnson after that whole deal? I don't know what's going on in that building, but Robert has got the credibility with the young players. This is a young man's league. How he relates to guys, he doesn't make emotional, rash decisions. And I think the most important thing is, and I think what players want, is to be coached, to understand. Defensive football is really every play is a hypothesis. You got to have an educated guess on what's coming. And the people that are in, and everyone learns differently. And the way that Robert can get those guys prepared and get the young guys prepared on the defensive side of the ball speaks for itself. So he is beloved in this building from top to bottom. And that's why I started with the tongue in cheek. He checks no boxes because nobody wants to lose him.
Don't.
But you hope for the best for him.
He is Tim Ryan, 49ers color analyst. He's with us here on GCR. Tim, you bring up the Jets thing, and obviously that would be the biggest question would be what went wrong. And as Steve Bisciotti even brought up in his press conference yesterday, like we acknowledge that the circumstances that a lot of these guys were in were not ideal, and we think our circumstance is better, so we're not going to judge him by that. But is it to you as simple as that like he was just in an unwinnable situation with that organization? Or do you think there are things that maybe he would need to do differently or that he's learned from that would make him a better head coach the second time around?
Yeah, I'm sure there's things that he's learned. He's not going to make the same mistake over again. I think, look, Aaron Rodgers tears his Achilles 2 plays into a game. And Aaron was a couple years younger and still has obvious gas in the tank with the arm talent and with everything else. And so, how they had to adjust and at the most important position in football, if Robert gets that job and he could somehow get Mike McDaniel or, one of these guys that he's got relationships with that quarterback, with Lamar, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. And put a defense on the field. And I know just in preparing for the quality of player and what Lamar is as an absolute weapon in throwing, running and throwing. And I just know in getting ready for those games when Robert was here, how much he reveres and knows what a challenge Lamar Jackson is to defend. And so if he could go in there and have, that type of offensive coordinator and then just oversee the whole thing with his leadership skills, wow. I mean, and then again, being able to survive in that market from the publicity standpoint and how he handles himself and what he would mean in that building to those guys. I just, again, and they should do their due diligence. And I'm sure Mr. Bisciotti will with all the candidates. And I heard you guys talking about Jimmy Schwartz. I've known Jimmy for a long time. He's a quality candidate and probably has gotten kind of a raw deal on the narrative on him. I did a lot of those Lions games back in the day at Fox. Did a lot of those 0-16 games. And then when Jimmy came in and flipped it, and they flipped it quick, probably flipped it too quick was maybe the challenge, and then how that whole roster kind of got manipulated. So, yeah, you got to get the right guy, and there's no doubt in my mind Robert would be the right guy for whatever job he's going to be up for.
Tim, you bring up Mike McDaniel, and I think a lot of people have said, man, if you could know you were getting that combo of Robert Saleh and Mike McDaniel, that would be pretty exciting. Given, I know he's been gone for a few years, but given their history, this would be qualified by Mike McDaniel. Still clearly is in line for other head coaching jobs. Maybe he gets one of those, but if he doesn't, how confident would you be that would be a relationship that Robert Saleh would be interested in revitalizing?
100% confident. 100% confident. Watch, and I know Mike obviously well too, and watch how those guys work together, and in practice here. And look, I'll say this: the leader of the whole pack is Kyle,
right? And
anybody you get,
see if we
you are looking for a football coach. And you're looking for a guy that's going to do it the right way, who's going to be in the right culture and in the right mindset. You go look at the 49ers staff and I know they all work hard. I know I've been in every building around the league, and I know how those guys work. But there's something about work ethic and working the right way and working smart. And Kyle's the leader of the pack with all of that stuff. So there's just so much loyalty. I call it football family style here in terms of how they coach and how they challenge the players every day. But at the same time, they're able to be parental at times, and they're able to be brotherly at times, and they know that fine line of how to do it. So, yeah, I'm 100% confident that relationship would, without question, if Mike doesn't get another job, would be a combination that would be something that opponents would have to reckon with and would be a challenge.
This is really irrelevant, Tim, in the grand scheme of things, but I think a lot of Ravens fans were watching that game on Sunday and saw Robert Saleh's fire at the end after the defense clinched that game. And maybe it was a little bit different than perhaps what we had seen watching from afar when he was head coach in the Jets, where a lot of times they would cut to the sidelines and he had a little bit less emotion, a little bit less expression. One thing that I think a lot of people have brought up is the Ravens defense, which was once upon a time known for fire and edge and passion, has kind of lacked some of those things. Now, I don't really care. If you're a good defense, I don't care how fiery and how angry and how edgy you are, but is that what we saw at the end of the game? Is that more of who he is? Would that be more of that mentality with a Robert Saleh coach team?
He tries to set a personal record every week on the Peloton. He's whacked like that in terms of his competitive spirit. And the players, and look, D'Amico was great. There's another guy that he mentored, and look what D'Amico's doing. Yeah. D'Amico was great. Then Wilkes got here, and then Sorensen, and Robert's fire was missed, and how engaged he is in the game on the sideline. It was missed, and you can feel it. The players can feel it. The coaches up in the box can feel it, and when he's down there, it's tangible. He feels it. And he wears some wild stuff now. That slouchy hat he had on the other day was and he's got heat warmers under that hat, by the way. So for people that were wondering what that hat was, it's a slouchy. I think you can get them on Amazon. And it's got some heat warmers under it for that bald dome he's got.
God. All right, then the $1 million question: Can the 49ers do this weekend, Tim? Like The Seahawks have been unbelievable, and I think the story of what the 49ers have done has been incredible. We all know what happened just a couple of weeks ago. What is it going to take? How do they pull this off?
Yeah, well, number one, got to tackle better on defense. I think if you look at, and a big reason why I think Kyle hired Robert back in 17 or whatever it was the scheme that Robert plays and the one that he learned under Pete Carroll. And, that whole style of defense is a challenge and has always been a challenge for Kyle's offense. And so many people are running that offense around the NFL because of how successful it is. And really put you in classic conflicts and put you in a bind. 2 games, and I know the last one obviously could have been a lot worse the way it looked when you watched it and looked at the numbers after the game. But the most important number is points. And in 2 games, they allowed 13 points a game against that offense. So the system works. I think tackling's got to be better. They missed 18 tackles, couldn't really contain the run game with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. And that to me will be the story in the game. And then offensively, they've got to, at times, be the best defense in terms of putting points up on the board and winning the ground game and the clock game, which is, as you guys know, the blueprint for a Kyle Shanahan led football team. So they got a hell of a lot of respect for those guys. It's game 3. I think it's the first time in NFL history they've opened with an opponent, finished with an opponent, and then played an opponent in the playoffs. Hell yes, it's doable. But it's going to take, obviously all 3 phases are going to have to play their best game. Tough place to play. Very, very good football team. Outstanding defense. But I think Saleh's system will be something that they can lean on.
Tim Ryan, 49ers color analyst. Always appreciate you, man. Thanks for hopping on with us today. We'll talk again real soon, all right?
All right, fellas. Good talking to you.
Tim Ryan with the CR and GCR. You got a, right now, your top 3 who you would hire and your top 3 who you think they would hire.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I kind of think they're the same almost. I really do think Saleh's going to be the guy.
Right now, he's your number 1 that they're going to hire.
Yes.
You would have him power rank number 1. Because it's funny, you took Clint Kubiak.
Well, I know, but I knew I had 2 picks, so I didn't.
Okay. Right.
I just did A and B. I'm just going to go with my top 3 guys and say Saleh, Kubiak, and I have just this weird feeling about Davis Webb.
But this is who you think they're going to hire.
Wait, did you guys complete that trade? Do I need to?
No, we did not complete that trade. That's who you think they're going to hire, not who you, Drew Forrester, would hire.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Davis Webb. Personally, I don't know enough about him. So I would say, for me, I probably would say Saleh, Kubiak, just based on what I've seen. And I do like Stefanski. Anybody that can have a modicum of success in Cleveland deserves to have their salary tripled.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with it at all.
I would say the only guy that I would personally exclude, I just don't feel like he's a Baltimore Raven kind of guy, is Mike McDaniel.
You don't like that he wears capri pants. Just say
I just don't. It is
say
part
that
of it.
You don't like capri pants.
I think he's a weird dude, and I just don't feel like that fits here. I'm just saying that. I'm not.
I mean, if he wins football,
It's
games,
under no circumstances am I questioning his football acumen at all. I just don't feel like he's a good fit here. I mean, maybe, sure. He's coming in to a scenario with one of the best whatever quarterbacks in the league. If he can't figure that out, then we're in trouble. I just don't feel like Mike McDaniel is a guy that Steve would feel best represents his organization at that level. That's just me. I do put stock in that I do think the coach has to be the face of the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, this is a weird conversation because I think what you're talking about is a guy that would go up and be able to meet sponsors. I don't think that Mike McDaniel would have a lick of a problem doing any of that. I think Mike McDaniel
I don't either, but
even a small problem.
I don't either. I'm not saying that it's a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And all these slices matter. I feel like He's just not a Baltimore. In the same way that I never thought John would have been a fit in Miami. In the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
John's not a guy that's going to go down to South Beach.
Not his
and
lifestyle.
Correct.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with John's football knowledge, John's football whatever. Miami would not be a good fit for John.
All right. Go ahead. We go ahead.
That's just what I thought.
I know you got to get out for your
That's
luncheon.
all. Yeah, I got to go.
But go ahead. You have, I'd say like
I got to go.
2 bites left.
Holy hell, it's 12.
So go ahead.
No, I'm done.
There's like
I got to go.
2 bites left. All right, so you're going to finish it next week then?
Yeah. I'll finish next week.
Finish it next week. All right.
I'm away.
Finish it.
No, I'm away the following one.
All right, good. So
we'll
finish it. He'll finish it next week.
I got to go.
Griffin, so just make sure that it's still here for next week. He's going to finish it.
I won't get rid of it.
God bless you guys.
Uh-huh.
Hope you have a great week.
You don't have a luncheon next week.
Go
right?
Maryland.
Go Maryland.
Get rid of the coach.
What does Maryland have in common with, real quick?
They play Penn State Sunday.
What does Maryland have in common with Sacramento State?
Okay.
God.
Also, they have it in common with, I'm going to make sure I have the names of these schools right. It's Sacramento State, UTSA, Gardner-Webb.
All of them have lost their conference games by double digits.
Every conference game by double digits. That's from Aaron Oster, in fact.
Yeah.
Our buddy.
Thanks, Aaron.
He came up with that.
Time to make a coaching change, boys.
4 Division I teams have lost every conference game.
I got the
Oh, yeah?
new slogan.
Okay.
We ain't buzzing anymore.
Ah, there you go. I'm
gotta
stunned
catch
that
on.
they haven't hired you. I'm stunned. They haven't.
And then,
how are you not working for Don Draper currently? How are you not on Madison
Have you
Avenue?
heard the buzz?
Okay.
No, you haven't, because they haven't won any games.
You know who they might want to look into? That guy up at Villanova. He's doing okay.
Oh, yeah. He is totally getting the
doing
old
all
clean of
right.
reality up there. Couldn't happen to a nicer turd.
That's Drew Forrester.
See you later.
You're going to eat that next week.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You're going to. We're not putting it away. We're not doing that.
It's the worst thing I've ever had in my
I don't
life.
disagree with it. I don't disagree at all. You know, Kevin Willard's actually 14-3 and 5-1 in conference play.
No, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good for him.
I mean, to be fair, he's only played
What, he
one.
beat Providence
he's
last
only,
night?
He did beat Providence. He only played one ranked team so far this season.
I know it has been
like it's weird
they
that
lost
way.
to BYU.
Whatever happened, I watched a little
Another
bit
ranked team.
of the first half. I didn't see what happened. Kansas was throttling Iowa State last night.
They continued to throttle.
That's how it finished?
Yes. I think they won by 20.
God, man.
That one I did have.
Yeah? All right. There you go. You got that going for you.
Thank you.
Real quick, because I did have other things on my list, and I know we're going to do another 6-hour show today. Give me your favorite memories of Masson 2.
Flipping on Masson 1 and then being like, why the hell are the Nationals playing?
There you go.
Orioles
Sadly,
game started first.
Masson
or
2.
The Orioles are playing like the Yankees or something, and it's a game that
Masson
I wanna
2
watch.
is dead. It has met its demise.
Moment of silence.
The the Nationals, it's official, are taking their taking their talents to the MLB app. And so the Nationals will officially not be returning.
So you still need a MLB.
I don't remember all the details. I think some.
Now if I live in DC,
I think in DC they might put up like
I live here.
There's like a tune into channel 475, and when the games are on, you can watch the game. I don't remember all the details of how it works because it's happened in other places post the demise of Bally Sports.
Right, like I think the Diamondbacks and the
the Diamondbacks for sure did it.
Rockies maybe.
I don't remember who else did it.
Yeah.
But that's what the Nationals are going to do. That's official. There will not be any further relationship with Masson. Masson, as of right now, will continue.
Says no blackouts.
What's that?
It says watch Nats game all year with Nationals.tv. No blackouts.
Okay, I'm not going to be watching any Nationals games, so it's not
well,
relevant
I might
to me.
be watching more now. I don't know.
Good for you. But
C.J.
yes.
Abrams.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch a Nationals game.
James
this season.
Wood's pretty good.
Thank you. You're certainly naming guys that play for the Nationals.
Mackenzie
You're doing
Gore
that.
for now.
You're right.
For now.
Until he's an Oriole. But they are done, and so with it, Masson 2 is dead as well.
Garcia.
John Harbaugh visiting the New York Giants today. A lot of
They let him out of the
rumblings
building.
that perhaps they lock him in. They do what was it Mark Cuban who did it to DeAndre Jordan once upon a time, where they locked him in the room and said you're signing, you're not getting out of here. We'll see how that plays out as John Harbaugh is visiting with the Giants today. A lot of hubbub on the internet about the fact that the NCAA is a step closer to making it so you could still redshirt even if you played 9 football games, which is
So is that because
just say guys can play for 5 years? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Just
Or-
say that they're going to let guys play
Or
5
they're
years.
trying to like meet in the middle at 6 or something. And
I have no idea. It's currently 4.
yeah.
And they have
fair, right?
advanced legislation that would move it to 9. Now it's not official yet. Yeah, it's a whole thing. The Whip Snakes are coming back to Baltimore this summer, but they have a new home.
Oh.
Not going back to Homewood Field. They're going to be at Ridley Athletic Complex at Loyola
Really?
this season, which
Interesting.
is cool. Obviously, I one of my professional homes is Ridley Athletic Complex. It's an amazing facility. It certainly does not. You can't fit quite as many people at Ridley Athletic Complex as you can fit at Homewood Field. I don't know any of the details. I don't know if like Homewood Field's got renovations or. I mean, they were still putting pretty big crowds at Homewood Field for the Whip Snakes, so I'm a little surprised by this.
4 new locations. So Rhode Island.
Right, but this isn't like it's the same city. It's just moving from one venue to another, and I know how much Homewood Field means to Paul Rabel, so I don't know. This one did legitimately catch me off guard. Like, this was surprising to me. Now, I know Loyola's also been, they do a lot of outreach and trying to get different types of events, and, it's beneficial. I don't know if they just gave them an incredible deal that made it worthwhile. I'm interested. I think there's a parking. Like, Loyola's done an amazing job when they have big games, because they do. Like, when Maryland comes to play, when Hopkins comes to play, the crowds are outrageous. And they do a great job of partnering with, like, Kedney Krieger to make sure they can use that for parking. Like, they do a phenomenal job with that. But that'll be interesting to see. But the Whip Snakes will be their home games this weekend. This season will no longer be at Hopkins. They will be at Loyola for their homecoming weekend. And then the one I don't want to belabor it. I don't want to spend a lot of time. A lot of people didn't like the way that I explained it on Twitter. If I have anything negative to say about yesterday's press conference, it would be that I was disappointed that Steve Bisciotti was so dismissive of the questions about Justin Tucker. And look, the final one, you could tell that Jerry was flustered too by the interaction, because I do not give a rat's ass if Steve Bisciotti thinks that Justin Tucker would have made the kick. There is literally no relevance to that. That's a dumb question, and Jerry knows that, I would assume. But for everybody that just wants to beat up Jerry, not the time or place, man. No, incorrect. That's what happens when the owner doesn't speak. You all can hate Jerry all you want, but Steve Bisciotti irresponsibly, in the midst of what was a crisis surrounding his organization and an otherwise Hall of Fame football player, it was outlandish, outrageous is what I mean to say, that Steve Bisciotti never said a word about it. Outrageous that the owner of the football team just absolved himself of saying anything. And to be dismissive of it, to act as though he had nothing to do, he was not involved whatsoever, is beyond it's either such abdication of duty or dereliction of duty that you shouldn't be the owner of the football team, but I don't believe that. I just don't think you want to talk about it. And we could dive into the depths of why, and somebody might say, well, he's still afraid that Justin Tucker might sue the Ravens, or he's still I don't know. If there's some legal concern, there's nothing wrong with saying, but how do they respond every time that somebody asks them a question about Nnamdi Madubuike?
No, we just can't talk about that.
There's nothing wrong with saying, guys, I would talk about it more, but I've been advised legally it's just something I shouldn't really speak a lot about. Now, I know you're going to say, well, then there's going to be more questions about it. Reasonably so. I got questions still to this day. Who in the organization knew what when? And by not saying, I want to make this abundantly clear, no one in this organization was involved in a cover-up of allegations against Justin Tucker. That's obviously the line that the rest of the organization never really said, but kind of alluded to. We didn't know anything about it. Knew nothing about it. But I've been very disappointed because every time you don't say that, it makes me think more there's a reason why you're not saying it. And I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I know nothing. That was a disappointing sequence. On a day where he was really forthcoming about a lot of things, to be so unwilling to pass it off as if I had nothing to do. I didn't have it. Even in a scenario where, let's say, the Ravens knew zero until the Baltimore Banner report came out. Let's just say that's possible. It is so beyond belief to think that the parties involved wouldn't have said, well, we need to call Steve on this one. That was disappointing because it still leaves me with an awful lot of questions about whether or not the organization, whoever it was, may have been involved in covering up allegations of sexual assault to protect a football player. And I'm not accusing because I don't know that. I have no evidence of that. But the lack of transparency and the lack of interest in transparency doesn't help. That's it. If you're looking for information about high school sports here in the state of Maryland, countysports.zone is the website. It's proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Everything you could possibly need to know about high school sports in Maryland you find at countysports.zone. We'll come back in and wrap it up with a tidbit and tubular. That's next, Glenn Clark Radio.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Get in the game with Volo Sports. With over 15 sports to choose from, join a league or grab a Volo membership for discounted play, free daily pickups, fitness classes, and exclusive events. But the best part? A portion of every league fee helps the Volo Kids Foundation provide free sports to over 5,000 kids across Baltimore City each year. Don't miss out. Early pricing for the winter season ends December 12th. Final registration deadline is January 15th. Sign up now at volosports.com/Baltimore.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Pressbox is available now, and it's our annual Best of issue, celebrating the top people, performances, and moments of 2025 in local sports. On the cover, we recognize 4 of the most significant athletes of the year: Orioles pitcher Trevor Rogers, Navy quarterback Blake Horvath, Maryland basketball star Derek Queen, and our 2025 Mo Gabba Sports Person of the Year, Ravens safety Kyle Hamilton. Pressbox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
This January, go for the gold at Live Casino and enter to win the ultimate winter experience. Earn the entire month of January, and on Saturday, January 24th, you could be one of 25 lucky winners to take their place on the podium and win a share of $50,000 in prizes, including a trip to the 2026 Winter Games in Milano Cortina. Let the games begin at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, winding down for a Wednesday edition of the program. Today's show and tidbit brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. Stan, Ross, Luke, any baseball news, they've got you covered. If the Orioles do make a move, and boy, that would be nice, they'll be all over it. It's all brought to you by the Costas Inn. 2 great locations. New one in Timonium, the OG on North Point Boulevard. That's where Rick Dempsey's going to be 1 week from tomorrow night from 6 to 8 p.m. Just hanging out, 4100 North Point Boulevard at the Costas Inn. Talking baseball, telling stories, taking pictures, shaking hands, kissing babies. It's going to be a great time with Rick Dempsey 1 week from tomorrow night at the OG Costas Inn. What you got for tidbit?
There was a Terp that performed 30 points from Diggy Coit last night, almost half their offense. First Terp to drop 30 on the road since.
Sure. I don't know.
Come on, I thought you were a Maryland fan.
Yeah, I clearly I'm not. I don't know.
Last Maryland Terrapin to drop 30 points on the road.
Since Diggy Coit.
No, he's not the first ever, no.
No, I mean, like, he might have done it earlier this year.
No.
I'm not watching Maryland basketball, so I wouldn't know. Okay. Jameer Young.
There you go. Look at that. You do know. Well, since we were talking about Rams today, the fun stat that's been out there, courtesy Andrew Stecca helped point it out to me. Sean McVay coaching in his 15th career playoff game on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
He will be facing off against the Bears, and it'll be 15 straight games, 15 straight playoff games, no repeat opponents. He's faced a different opponent in the playoffs.
That's almost impossible.
Games. Almost, but it's not.
I mean, obviously,
name the 15 teams that the first 14 that he's faced.
14. That's crazy. All right, well, let's go with. There was the Bengals.
Yes. Should I make you go in order?
No.
Say no, not the Bengals first.
The Packers.
He's faced the Packers. When did he face the Packers?
Shut up. The Eagles.
2020, the playoffs. Yeah, he faced the Eagles last year
in the NFC divisional round.
Yes. Yeah, and that's no game.
The Seahawks.
He faced the Seahawks right before facing the Packers in 2020.
The 49ers.
The 49ers, yes, on their way to a Super Bowl.
The Lions.
The Detroit Lions. When did he face them?
I don't know.
Never faced the Lions. Never faced the Lions in the playoffs.
That seems impossible.
Oh, wait, sorry. No, yeah, he did. 2023.
Yeah,
2023.
My God. I mean, essentially, he has to have faced. I know. This means there's one NFC team he's never faced. That's the problem.
Well, because the Bengals, so it's two.
No, because they can't face himself.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So I'm just trying to figure out who the one NFC team is that he hasn't faced. So this is a bad tidbit that you just didn't do the math on because of that.
I wanted you to name all the teams, though.
I'm really just trying to figure out what one NFC team he's never faced in the playoffs. And I'll say it's the Giants.
Yeah, he's not faced the Giants.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you tidbit.
He's not faced the Giants.
How about that?
Is that the only one?
It has to be the only one because he has only faced one AFC team.
He faced two AFC because he faced the Patriots. They lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So I think
it's two.
All
right. So there is one other one. I did forget about the Patriots.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right.
Okay.
All right.
Two. So Giants and
Vikings.
They faced the Vikings.
Giants and Saints.
They faced the Saints in 2018.
Giants and Commanders.
That was the pass interference game. Commanders.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They have not faced the Commanders.
All right, there it is.
Giants, Commanders.
There it is. All right, very good. All right, here's what's coming up tubular-wise.
Tidbit.
Yeah. Here's what's coming up tubular-wise. Tubular is brought to you by the best of issue of Press Box, which is still available at your Baltimore area High's dairy stores. Go pick it up today. And you can always read it all at PressBoxOnline.com. It is free. John points out that Freeman declared publicly staying at Notre Dame. To be abundantly clear, every college coach that might be interested in an NFL job has to say that. There is no alternative here. You can't say, I'm staying at Notre Dame unless... Now, he might very well be staying at Notre Dame. It might be the Ravens aren't even interested. But there can be no connection unless you're accepting the job. Until you accept the job, no one can know that you're interested in the job. Because it is weaponry for the portal. It is weaponry for recruiting, if you're still doing any of that, and who knows. And it's weaponry for your overall brand. While Marcus Freeman might not have the completely unimpeachable brand that Curt Cignetti has right now, he is still respected and revered and has this look and all of those things. He's a bit of a pop culture figure. Failing to get a job hurts that, which otherwise doesn't exist. Marcus Freeman has never not gotten a job that he wanted. You know how we know that? Because we don't know of any other job that he wanted that wasn't being the Notre Dame football coach. Curt Cignetti has never failed to get a job because we don't know of any other job that he wanted besides being the James Madison coach and now being the Indiana coach. And I guess IUP and Elon, right?
Disrespect Elon.
That's a great point. No matter what they say, we don't know. The Ravens could never put out a graphic that says, we had an interview with Marcus Freeman. Could not do it. They could talk to Marcus Freeman. They could find out from his agent that he was interested. They could have a conversation. But they could never put out a graphic that said, we conducted an interview today with Marcus Freeman. Because then people would know. You could only hire him. Now, you could obviously do all the stuff you want to do underground. You could absolutely have the let's get a skiff and somehow try to keep it all, have conversations. It's one of the dude, people track flights in psychotic ways. If tomorrow we saw a flight,
they're like Oxford to Old Baton Rouge.
Like if we saw a flight from South Bend to Baltimore, like on a small plane, a lot of people would have a lot of questions. So if you want to say, hey, let's all meet in Phoenix this weekend, and then nobody will know no one will be any the wiser.
It's a lot to go out of the way for.
Yeah, I understand.
Just feeling each other out.
Yeah, but that would be an option. But you can never, ever, ever have it be known that he was a candidate, because then if he doesn't get the job, it's ammunition. So,
have you ever Googled this guy?
Who?
All he does is win.
No, Curt Cignetti.
I can't believe it.
Google me. All right, here's what's coming up tonight, totally tubular-wise. Not a lot locally. Loyola basketball is in action tonight. They host Colgate, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. And that's the only local team playing tonight. Lots of college hoops. You can find it all at glennclarkradio.com. If you're a fan of such things, and apparently Griffin is, Monumental's got the Wizards and Clippers tonight at 10:30.
Yeah.
ESPN has Cavs, Sixers.
I like good basketball players.
Sure. ESPN has Cavs, Sixers at 7 and Nuggets, Mavericks at 9:30. Everything else, go to glennclarkradio.com. Find it there. Some non-sports highlights.
Abbott Elementary.
I do like that show.
Yeah.
That's it?
Tiana Taylor and Laura Dern will be on Fallon.
Okay. She won the Golden Globe, right?
Did
Tiana
she?
Taylor for One Battle After Another,
Good.
I believe.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for her. Wow, that's impressive.
A lot of people think she's the have they even announced Oscar nominees?
I don't think so.
It's really weird that they do the Golden Globes before you even know who the nominees are for the Oscars, right? Isn't that crazy?
Well, they're separate entities, right? Like is that the point? I don't know.
A lot of people think she's the
Is it
favorite.
different academies or
Yeah, they definitely are different academies, that's for sure. Thanks
also,
today.
they're trying to say a completely different thing, you know?
Okay.
Don't.
Thanks today to Drew Forrester, I guess. Thanks also to Tim Ryan and to D'Marco Farr. We'll get that up in the greatest hits section of the
Johnny Knoxville, Chase Infinity, and Ed Sheeran all on Kimmel tonight.
tab at glennclarkradio.com. Tomorrow on the program, our friend Kyle Goon from the Baltimore Banner will be in studio with us.
We're gooning tomorrow.
Maybe we don't say that out loud. Maybe we just come up with a different way of saying that. Also, Patrick Stevens will be back. I know it's been a few weeks. He'll check in with us and stuff and things on the program tomorrow as well. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, Volo Sports, the Costas Inn, 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org, Nick's Fish House, CountySports.zone, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday evening. Go Loyola. Duke sucks.